America is listening to Fox News.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, you're up next.
My throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Please welcome to the stage.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Plenty of sunshine with us on this Monday afternoon. 82 for the high, a little bit above average. Tonight, partly to mostly clear. 70s for evening plans. 62. Tuesday, partly sunny. Just a slight chance of a spot shower in the afternoon. Tuesday, 85. Much the same on Wednesday. Full moon is this week. On Friday, it's known as the full harvest moon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
TheDiamondShop.net. If you were listening Friday to X's and O's, you got to hear our friends Tom and Nikki in studio playing X's and O's with us. The Diamond Shop has been one of my longest clients that has partnered with me to talk to you. And the cool thing about being able to be on the radio like this is I get to take the best people here in the St. Louis area on both sides of the river and talk to you about great places that you can go, that you can trust to shop. And the Diamond Shop is absolutely one of them. Right now, of course, all September, they are acknowledging that September opportunity to save leading into Christmas, 30% off all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings. And they're always looking to give you an extra opportunity to save as well, which is why when you go to thediamondshop.net, you can sign up to be a VIP. It doesn't cost you anything, and it can save you a lot of money. Extra 10% off on all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings to the VIPs. You can trust your desire to purchase something beautiful, to get something done custom, to give you a price, they buy gold. You can trust all of these situations in the hands of the people at the Diamond Shop. My family does. I hope you'll give them a chance to earn your business as well. Go to thediamondshop.net.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you want to lose weight, I've got a great idea for you. Mark Cox here for my friends at Victory Men's Health. They're now offering FDA-approved semaglutide. They have tremendous results with this medication. The average patient loses 15% of their body weight. Men and women can get semaglutide from Victory Men's Health at any of their 3 locations. Be sure and book your appointment today online at victorymenshealth.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walmart and other participating retailers. Learn more at exergen.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Onder Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That
is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
There's just this simple question of job approval. Barely 40% approve of Joe Biden's performance.
And we have to note 56%. That's the highest disapproval rating for President Biden since he took office. That's significant.
Yeah, so let's take a look at what's driving that too here. In one big area, no surprise, it is the economy. Look at this contrast. This is April of 21, months after Biden took office. Nearly half the country was satisfied with where the economy was. Then, now, barely 1 in 4 Americans satisfied with the economy.
The highest disapproval rating for President Biden since he took office, 56%. Not good. No bueno for the president. And everybody is starting to lean into this a little bit. Doesn't surprise me. He's a terrible candidate. He's also, in fact, a terrible president and should not be able to win re-election. Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. What a warm welcome. Happy Monday, folks. We're grateful that you are spending a little bit of your afternoon here with us in St. Louis. Beautiful day outside. I'm reading an article that came out from Fox News last 30 minutes or so, and they're reporting that a Democratic congressman in Minnesota says he's open to challenging President Biden for his party's presidential nomination. I'm thinking about it. According to who? Representative Dean Phillips. Oh, you know Dean Phillips, the guy who's like, this guy's not good. I don't think he can win. President Phillips on the way. He told, quote, The Warning podcast on Friday in an episode that was released on Monday, quote, I haven't ruled it out. Okay. Dean Phillips, are you familiar with that name, Brad?
That name sounds familiar. Is he the dumpster fire guy?
You have to be more specific.
There was a guy who he was a Minnesota politician, and he did a really kind of cringy ad. He's like, Washington's a dumpster fire.
Who's this guy? Does that guy look familiar?
No.
Washington is a dumpster fire. Maybe he has my vote. I just listen to what this guy says. He thinks Joe Biden is bad and he thinks Washington is a dumpster fire? Tell me more. We're starting to track here, Mr. Representative Phillips. He said, quote, I think there are people who are more proximate, better prepared to campaign with national organizations, national name recognition, which I do not possess. There you have it. See, he's rational too. Who is this guy? I'm concerned that there is no alternative. So basically, you're saying it's time to break the emergency glass. Maybe I should do it. I'm looking around, waiting for somebody to step up and go, do you see this guy? Can you see this guy? Everybody sees this guy. Everybody's looking at this guy. He's terrible. He doesn't even know which way to go on the stage. Again, a callback to last week's joke, and I'll get the comedian's name back up here who said this originally. Not my joke, but it's incredibly funny that his favorite part about the Biden presidency is when he gets done with the speech, he looks like a Roomba on the stage. I just can't get that image out of my mind. They put a little, like in kindergarten, you make ice cream cone arrows to get off. You just put it on the floor. You're like, just
Follow the arrows.
Follow the cones. And if you whisper it to him, then he really, really follows you. Phillips said it is, quote, important for democracy to have choices, to have competition, particularly in light of what I'm reading, the polling, the data, and what I'm sensing in my own intuition, and I'm concerned. We are too. We're concerned that America might still reelect this guy. More from Fox News. In August, Phillips urged his Democrat colleagues to jump into the race and told NBC's Meet the Press that he, quote, adores, end quote, Biden, but wants him to pass the torch to new leaders. He said, quote, I would like to see a moderate governor, hopefully from the heartland, from one of the 4 states that Democrats will need. If you got this out there right now, of course, Fox News is going to pick up this story. They're right-leaning in their conservative perspective. I still say that they do the absolute best at presenting actual news as news and facts. But the opinion, of course, often leans to the right. But if this guy's out there saying that, and he's an elected Democrat official, that's got to breed a lot of concern for other Democrats, because once one person says it, then it makes it a little bit simpler for the next person to say it, and then the next person and the next person, and before you know it, you've got a real problem on your hands. Today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll is a poll on a poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the ABC NBC Washington poll, ABC poll, and Washington Post poll has suggested? There are a lot of people looking at the polling data right now, and they're going, what's happening here?
And Martha, maybe the most startling number in our poll is this, the hypothetical matchup, a rematch of Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Our poll with the Washington Post pegging this at 51% for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. That is a 9-point edge. Now, that's only a couple of points difference from our last poll in May, but it is significantly different than most recent polls. It is an outlier compared to other polls we've seen recently. Our partners at 538 put together an analysis for us. They find an average of recent polls having this more in the 1 or 2 point range, with Joe Biden typically having the edge. But whether you believe that or not, look, there's a good chance that there's people just trying to send a message in the polling right now, given the other frustration we've seen. We know in this poll there's some quirks, some oddities around the number of black voters and Hispanic voters, the younger voters who seem to be supporting Donald Trump.
It's an oddity if these minorities don't support the Democrat Party. Well, that's because the Democratic Party has done very, very well at trying to divide people by things that have nothing to do with their brain and everything to do with a demographic that's on the outside that they think that they can control and have. And you know this when the guy who is the current president of the United States says, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. No Republican gets to say that, nor should they. If you're on the left, of course, you get away with it. You get a pass. But did you catch the one thing that he says in here? And I want to make sure that we understand exactly what we're hearing from ABC's Rick Klein as he is talking about this poll. And I'm going to play it again because I want you to really understand when ABC gets a poll they don't like, how they dismiss the results of
And
it.
Martha, maybe the most startling number in our poll is this, the hypothetical matchup, a rematch of Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. Our poll with the Washington Post pegging this at 51% for Donald Trump over Joe Biden. That is a 9-point edge. Now, that's only a couple of points difference from our last poll in May, but it is significantly different than most recent polls. It is an outlier compared to other polls we've seen recently. Our partners at 538 put together an analysis for us. They find an average of recent polls having this more in the 1 or 2 point range, with Joe Biden typically having the edge. But whether you believe that or not, look, there's a good chance that there's people just trying to send a message in the polling right now, given
good chance that people are just trying to send a message in the polling right now. Well, then that means that the polls are to send messages, not to actually reflect the opinion of the people who are taking them. And if they're being used to influence people and change things, then it's not actually just a reflection, a mirror to say, here's what people think. Or if you're ABC and you're sitting here trying to figure out, like, oh my gosh, is Donald Trump going to be the president of the United States again? The horror. If you're sitting there thinking that and you're panicking and you're trying to explain it, as we all do when crises hit us, like, okay, how do I bring myself a little bit back down to earth, get my feet firmly planted on the ground? You say, it's an outlier and this is just people who want to send a message. What's the message? The message is that Joe Biden is a dumpster fire as a president, according to Representative Phillips. We think. Maybe.
I looked it up. It was a different guy.
Different guy. Oh, see, there are two.
But he's not wrong.
Both from Minnesota. The message that is being sent here is that people are, in this poll, willing to take Trump over Joe Biden. Does that mean Donald Trump is that amazing? Does that mean Joe Biden is that awful? It's probably a combination of the two, and you apparently polled the wrong people in order to subsidize the drivel that you continue to peddle over and over and over again to subsidize the message that you've predetermined to be the outcome of the next election. This is why I hate polls. As much as they are frustrating to me, and as much as it's annoying to listen to Rick Klein there breaking this poll down, that I'd imagine that a lot of people who are consuming this poll over the weekend here on Monday morning are really, really frightened by the prospect that maybe Donald Trump will become the president of the United States once again, should they continue to run Joe Biden. That people need to understand this just might be a little message. I think it is a message from the left. And if I were the left, I'd be pushing this as much as I can and maybe get more people like Congressman Phillips in Minnesota to step up and say, we need to get somebody else. You need someone to stand up and say it. Or to tell the people on the left, if it is going to be Biden and Trump, you better get your butts in gear because this thing isn't made. One way or the other, we are careening towards another election. At this point in time, unless something seismic happens between now and 407 days to the actual November election, we've got Biden-Trump. And America is going to look at these two men, and they're going to have to pick who they detest less. It's not who they love more, because I don't know anybody out there who loves Joe Biden for what he's doing to lead the country. They love him as maybe a career elected Democrat who has been faithful to whichever way the wind changes, which is how Joe Biden votes and supports. And then naturally, anytime you're in politics for 80 years or whatever it is, the winds are going to change from time to time because you've been there forever and times do change. And Joe Biden certainly has on his perspectives as well. But he can't be elected the president of the United States again. Democrats know that if it's Biden, Trump, their greatest hope is that more people hate Trump than care about their current actual existence in the United States of America today. So the push to fan the flames of the Trump hate will be doubled down and tripled down, if you can even imagine what that will look like. And all the while, the most interesting thing to me in all of this is that Donald Trump's perspective and position on his potential reelection is to fan the flames on the hatred as well. I wish he would take a different perspective, because there's so much good to offer in a Trump presidency should he be the guy who wins. This country would take such a drastic and immediate turn in a different direction on the southern border, on the economy, on our relationship with China, on our relationship across the globe, on our relationship with Iran, with Russia, with Ukraine. It would so dramatically change so quickly should Donald Trump become the president of the United States once again. And while we see the left in every iteration they can possibly manifest, fanning the flames of hatred for this one man, which is really how they detest you. Their hatred of Donald Trump is that none of their normal tricks against Donald Trump play, or against Republicans play against Donald Trump. For some reason, they got to attack him differently than they've had to attack different Republicans in the past. I wish Donald Trump wouldn't sit there and fan those flames as well. I wish he would get back to talking about policy. And I think that he's in a position right now to do that. When he's at a rally, when he sits down for an interview with all of these, gosh, he sits down with interview after interview after interview, and you can go back and look at replays of, was it Leslie Stahl, and sitting there and listening to those two go back and forth, and Trump is so agitated by the questions she's asking because she's so emphatically, arrogantly wrong in the way that she pushes him and dismisses him and disrespects the president of the United States in those interviews. I mean, he has the ability to go send his message and sit down with these people, and I want him to be talking about what he's going to do. It's just not the cream that rises to the top right now. 407 days until the election. The question on our YouTube today is, do you believe that Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as that poll suggests? You can go tell us yes or no. We want to know why you voted the way you did. Rambo says, for the longest time, I didn't think Trump could win. Now I have hope. Amy says, at least 9 points. And Ripper says, Trump can only do that if Biden is the Democrat nominee. Go tell us what you think. Leave a comment. vote, and we will get those results at the end of the show and see what the AFS family out there believes. We're going to take a quick break. Our friend Joe Concha is going to join us when we come back. We're going to talk about these polls, and we also have a personal request to talk about Taylor Swift, and I shall oblige. That Chiefs not press box, VIP box, whatever, is all the rage. And if Joe Concha wants to talk about it, we're going to talk about it. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't want for us to win. Where do I start? First you wanna go to
Gateway ENT is waiting for your phone call. They are accepting new patients right now. Your ear, nose, and throat problems don't need to persist or to chronically annoy you or frustrate you. When you call 314-843-3828, 314-843-3828, you are going to be able to schedule an appointment like soon and get your ENT issues looked at. I trust my family in the hands of them. They're my number one recommendation to my friends as well. And to you, they are a private practice ear, nose, and throat group that works right here in the bi-state region to make sure that your needs are met in that private setting, not in a, big hospital building where they have to refer within the hospital. And sometimes those referrals can cost you a lot more than if you were looking at getting the same care, quality care elsewhere. They watch your care, they watch what you need to have done, and they help guide you through it so that your health care is first and foremost prioritized and that you're not overspending for things that you don't need to have in a pricey way. Patients are seen in a timely fashion, and I'm here to remind you that they see patients of all ages. So if you have a child with an issue, elderly, and everybody in between, go to Gateway ENT for your ear, nose, and throat concerns. GatewayDRS.com.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away at your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with TrueHold. TrueHold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. TrueHold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash. Cash to do whatever you like, while TrueHold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
Start your Amazon business.
Hey everyone, Ryan and Karen Pottinger here.
Because of the wholesale formula, last year we ran our business while we traveled to and lived in 4 different countries.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 54 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
Oh, what you know, Joe? I don't know nothing. What you know, Joe? Tell me something. What you know, Joe?
Part of the reason he worked so hard against me is because he didn't think that he wanted me in the White House. So we are where we are, and part of the challenge is to continue to explain to the American public that, the kind of leader Putin is, this authoritarian dictator who literally kills his opposition, kills journalists, poisons people who disagree with him, invades other country, interferes with our election. That is part of the alternative we have to reject in this election. We have to reject authoritarianism. We have to reject a kind of creeping fascism almost of people who are really ready to turn over their thinking, their votes, to wannabe dictators. And we can't allow that to proceed.
Joe Concha, columnist at The Messenger.
The first thing when Hillary first started talking there, she says, she talks like she's actually texting somebody down here and she just needs to keep saying words. And I say this as a broadcaster because I've done it before. But she says, one of the reasons he worked so hard against me is because he wanted to keep me out of the White House. Yeah, we all did, Hillary. Joe, welcome to the show. Good to have you here.
It's so sad to see this woman on a nearly 7-year public therapy tour, right? I mean, it's amazing that she has said time and again that Donald Trump is an illegitimate president, that the Russians installed him into the White House. Wouldn't that be called, 3 words, the big lie, right? And you know what? Enough Democrats are dumb enough to believe this. I mean, I saw a YouGov poll, I think it came out a year or two after the 2016 election, and nearly 3/4 of Democratic voters believed not just the Russians interfered through a couple of Facebook ads that magically brainwashed people into voting for Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Oh, no. They believe that the Russians hacked voting machines, sound familiar?
Right.
And changed vote totals. So Trump always gets all this flack, and I'm like you. I wish he would stop talking about it for saying that the 2020 election was stolen. But Hillary has been probably infinitely worse in terms of what she says. And then, of course, she's doing this interview with Jen Psaki, and they're talking about how horrible Putin is. I believe it was Hillary who had the reset button, right? Big reset button with the Russian president at the time. And then Jen Psaki is like wearing like a hat that like Ivan Drago wore in Rocky IV, smiling like an idiot. So, yeah, it's just whatever. Is she going to run? Probably.
Yo, man.
At this point.
Oh, don't you just made my heart skip a beat. Don't say that.
You'd want that, I would think.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I've been saying, I think you've even challenged this thought in an interview before when you've been on a show. I've been saying there's no way Joe Biden is the nominee, and I've been saying that for a long time.
I'm with you on that now.
Because people come on my show and they don't listen to my show outside of our discussions here, but they'll be like, "Who are these people who think Joe Biden and Donald Trump aren't the nominees?" And I'm like, I don't really think Joe Biden is the nominee. I
agree.
You agree?
Yeah, I'm with you on that now.
Oh, okay.
Only because there are no accidents. And when David Ignatius, who is the biggest cheerleader for Joe Biden, writes in the Washington Post that he doesn't think he should run, obviously that was a green light from whoever's running this party these days. Like, okay, let's start to pressure him because the right can't push him out, but the left can. And then when Joe Scarborough, this guy's hilarious. He has all these conversations like that don't happen on the show, of course. He says, all the Democratic senators that I speak to privately, all of them say that Joe Biden's too old and they wish he wouldn't run. You're sharing this now, Joe?
Sure. Why?
Why? So that all happens in 1 week, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to try to push him out. And then I see Ted Cruz on his podcast say that, well, the scenario will be that at the Democratic National Convention, which is in Chicago, Joe Biden suddenly will find a reason not to actually run for re-election and bow out, and they'll install Michelle Obama. And here's why I have a big problem with that. Netflix signed the Obamas to a multi-million-dollar contract. They're getting Emmy nominations for their specials that they do on there with like Oprah Winfrey, right?
I'm sure that's completely objective.
Oh, totally. It's not like to draw eyeballs. Yeah, of course. I never watched a stitch of it, so maybe I shouldn't judge one way or the other. But the point is that they love this celebrity life. They love having this huge house on the water in Martha's Vineyard despite climate change. They love the big house in Washington right down from the White House. You think that she's going to want to get into what is the most divisive, ugliest time in our nation's history? And then Democrats, by the way, lose the entire ridiculous talking point that Republicans, Donald Trump, are a threat to democracy. When you literally go full Soviet and just say, all right, forget the whole primary season, all those votes that you cast, we're installing Michelle Obama here as the nominee. It won't fly. And the Obama brand isn't nearly as strong as people think it is. If it was, then I'm pretty sure that Donald Trump wouldn't have won in 2016. People had enough of it.
So here's where I've been saying Michelle Obama too, because she's the most terrifying person that of the very small bench that the Democrats seem to have, she's the one I think that would have the greatest draw. And I guess that's all a relative comparison. But my thought on Michelle Obama is I think she would hate. I think she would hate the job, but I fear it's a scenario where the only thing worse than running and winning would be not running at all. And I wonder how much, I just can't in my mind believe that all of the drama surrounding Joe Biden and the stuff that was going on, that people are concerned about him in Ukraine, the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden money stuff that involves China and other places. This is while Joe Biden was Obama's vice president. And I just wonder if the way to protect the Obama family is for Michelle Obama to become the president herself.
Oh, I never even thought about going down that road before.
It's a crazy one. Yeah, it's like a 2 a.m. I can't sleep road.
That's like 8D chess, I mean, boy, I never really thought about it that way. Yeah, I just don't see how Democrats could pull that off. And by the way, she's never held public office. She's never really run a business. She's a lawyer, right? And a retired one. So I don't know what she brings to the table. But then again, to your point about it being scary, we have an electorate. Some voters out there would just say, she kind of reminds me of Oprah, where she's like really likable and she's a positive person and she works out a lot and she seems like a nice lady. What's her economic position? Her position on crime, position on the border, position on Ukraine, position on China, position on education. Well, we really don't know, but, it's better than Biden, so I guess I'll vote for her. I can't get there. I just can't get there.
I like the way you think, and I'm going to hold tightly on to that thought. What about Kamala Harris? Where does she go? How does the Democrat Party take care of the Kamala Harris problem?
I filed a column on her yesterday in terms of her talking about climate alarmism, I think it was. No, climate anxiety. Sorry, I remember my own work. Climate anxiety. And she keeps talking about how people aren't buying homes now, not because interest rates are at their highest since the turn of the century, or not because inflation's eating into everybody's savings and people are drowning in debt. The last thing that they can afford is to buy a home. Oh, no. She says that, and this is like an actual quote where she said, young people tell me they're not buying homes because they're afraid severe weather will wipe out the home. You know how many homes we have in the United States, Annie? We have 280 million housing units. How many do you think have been destroyed by climate change?
Not that many.
A fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction, right? Like, you got to go way, way, way down. Not one young person out there who's thinking about starting a family is looking at a home and saying, it looks really nice to be a great place to raise a family, but, if a storm comes and this thing gets wiped out, then we'll be on the street. No one thinks this way. And this is the thing she's saying publicly. It's all she has left is this fear-mongering. So where does she go is the question. It's a package deal, right? You can't keep Harris and then put Michelle Obama there, right? I don't think you can. And then people say, well, you'll lose the black vote. You'll lose the minority vote if you dump Kamala. I don't think too many black people look at Kamala Harris as one of their own. She comes across as an inauthentic elitist. And quite frankly, I think a lot of them probably aren't happy with the fact that the U.S. southern border is so wide open to the point where a lot of jobs that normally would be theirs are going to people who aren't even here legally.
Yeah.
And their crime in their cities is completely out of control. So I think you can get rid of her quite easily. Or just, I don't know, appoint her to the Supreme Court if you had that opportunity. That would have been the smart thing to do.
What about the Senate?
Don't come along very often.
Is there any possibility that she is the appointee to Senator Feinstein's seat? Is that such a regression that she wouldn't do it?
Yeah, she would have to go back. Once you're vice president, can you go back to being a senator? Then again, Romney ran for president and became a
vice
senator.
President. You're just horrible at it, and you get to go back to the Senate. Because I don't know where else she would go from there, other than maybe speaking engagements and the like.
Right. And she has such an ego where she's not going to just take this, right, if that were to happen. But either way, I mean, I'm sure you're discussing the Trump poll and him being up 10.
Yep.
People are shocked by that. But quite frankly, and I've been saying this, he should be up 10, 15, 20 points. Right? I shouldn't say that. Not Donald Trump. A generic Republican candidate should be up 10, 15, 20 points that doesn't have the baggage Trump does. Because the state of this country, as I just described, and all those issues, is profoundly horrible. And the fact that this would even be a close race is just jaw-dropping to me, that Joe Biden is even competitive at this point. So, look, if he's losing by 13 points to independents and Donald Trump's getting 20% of the black vote and 45% of the Hispanic vote, it's lights out. It's over. I mean, because Trump doesn't have to win nationally. Obviously, it's electoral college, and he's going to take Ohio and he's going to take Florida. So if he takes Wisconsin and Arizona back, or Wisconsin, Arizona, and Georgia back, then he wins. That's it. That's the end of it.
Do you think Trump can win any of the combinations of those 5 states that are going to decide this election and pull it off over?
He needs 3 of the 5, right? So he has to hold places like North Carolina, which he will. And Florida and Ohio are now red states, so don't worry about those. So, yeah, will he take back Georgia? Yes. And plus, by the way, for people out there, well, but Georgia cheats. But they put in new laws there, and I am certain that Trump and the Republicans are going to make sure there is absolutely no funny business that goes on. There will be poll watchers of poll watchers of poll watchers. So people say they'll just cheat again. Well, I don't know. How are you going to do that? So you got Georgia, Arizona they'll take back as well because you see that's a border state. And I can't see people being very happy with what's going on there. And I understand that like Blake Masters lost there, but Blake Masters wasn't a good candidate. So I can see Trump winning there. And then I can see him taking Wisconsin, absolutely. Because, again, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Milwaukee, the black vote, very critical. And Biden is hemorrhaging them at this point. And then even Michigan, I could see him taking. Pennsylvania, I think, is the biggest hill to climb, but he won't need it if he has those 4 states.
Before we let you go, there's a lot of headlines coming out right now about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I see their gaming couple names. One of them is Trailer. I don't know about that one. You like that, Brad? Brad likes that. What is it? Why is this in the news headlines? Why do we need to be talking about this?
Trailer, I think, is very appropriate because I have a different take on this. All right. I'm a Bears fan, as many of you know listening out there. And we're headed probably to like a 1-15 type of season based on what I've seen so far in the first 3 weeks. All of that said, the game is 34-0. You have the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Kansas City Chiefs, right? They get down to the 3-yard line, and Travis Kelce, who's caught probably more than 100 touchdown passes during his career, is probably the best tight end of all time, I would say. He catches a little 3-yard touchdown, the least important, the least spectacular touchdown he's probably ever scored to put the Chiefs up 40-0, and she's reacting like he just caught a Hail Mary to win the Super Bowl.
So she doesn't know football.
She clearly doesn't know football. And then this is what gets me, and this is why Trailer fits, by the way. She's worth, what, $750 million? You go on one date with this guy, and then you're standing next to his mother, and you're dropping F-bombs? Let's effing go. Well, apparently you can't buy class with Taylor Swift. So I'm sick of hearing how, like, she's the nice one than the classy one. My son, when he's older, if some girl that he took out once started dropping F-bombs in front of my wife, I'd be like, look, Liam, you got to find somebody with some class. You got to find somebody who isn't this trash that you put next to your mother. That's what I'm going to call her. Trash. Let's effing go. 40-0. Go where? To 47-0.
This is exactly where I needed to be on this issue.
Thank you.
You've got feelings out of me that I didn't know that I needed to get out, and I think you probably are speaking to many other people who are combing through the news today, and it's like, what is it about this story that is infiltrating the importance of my day? Because I just don't see it.
Yeah, she's a big deal, and she's probably the most eligible bachelorette out there, right, as far as money and fame and success and so on. And Kelce, obviously, 2-time Super Bowl champion, good-looking guy. I get it. I think we're hungry for some like harmless escapism, and that's what this does. But I can't wait for the Travis Kelce broke up with me song, and that's going to be the best.
It's probably already written.
There's a reason why she's single. She's got to be annoying on some level because she's got the looks and she's got the money. Maybe it's cheering a touchdown when it's 40-0.
I actually really love her music.
She literally had an orgasm on television, and her boyfriend's 100 yards away. Sorry. I said it.
Joe, we love you. Thank you for being here with us. We look forward to talking to you again soon.
I begged Fox to put me on today, by the way. I'm like, you guys got to book me for this.
I wonder why they didn't.
Yeah, I know.
Go on the Annie Frey show. She'll have you. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly right. Bye.
Talk to you soon, Joe. Thank you so much. Political columnist at The Messenger, Fox News contributor. Book that he has out right now, Come On Man, the truth about Joe Biden's terrible, horrible, no good, very bad presidency. I wonder if Joe Biden would cheer on the 40-0 touchdown. It'd probably depend on what people told him he was going to have to do at that particular time. Joe Concha, great to have him on the show. We'll be right back.
Talking 'cause I don't know.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Joe.
Air Comfort Service is there to help you with all of your residential HVAC needs, but did you know they also do commercial repairs? If you have issues with the heating and cooling of your facility, your business, your building, whatever it might be, your church, I want you to reach out to Air Comfort Service. They're going to take great care of you. In my home, they have certainly taken great care of us with the replacement of, over the course of time, our air conditioner, our furnace, our water heater. They helped us with an AeroSeal duct sealing, and they are top-notch quality each and every time, very respectful. They're going to treat you and your place of business exactly the same way. You call them at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. And get a second opinion. Call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation for a free second opinion on commercial HVAC repairs. They have provided residential and commercial care for people exactly like you, businesses exactly like yours, for over 50 years, and the reviews and the accolades speak for themselves. Take my personal experience of being with Air Comfort Service and having their services in my home and consider it for your next needs as well. 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
It's obvious. The unthinkable is going to happen soon. With all the distractions in the media, we probably won't see it coming. Your gut tells you there's something very wrong going on, and all the evidence suggests that there is. Those in charge say everything's fine. Stop noticing. But you know better. American families are preparing. Folks are getting into self-reliance and investing in emergency food storage. My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, is the place you can trust. Go to mypatriotsupply.com and secure their best-selling 3-month emergency food kits. Each contains tasty breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, averaging over 2,000 calories per day. Get at least one food kit for each family member. For a limited time, save 25%, plus get free shipping on all their 3-month emergency food kits. Go to mypatriotsupply.com today. Order by 3 p.m. and your items ship the same day. It's time to prepare for what's coming. MyPatriotSupply.com.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
Traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
Mark Cox here. Before you sell your home, you should know the facts. What's your home's true value? Which realtor will get you the most money? And as a seller, is the market still in your favor? I spent some time with my friend Gloria Liu with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Here's what she told me. The market is still in the seller's favor. However, these next few months before the holidays represent the last prime time to sell your home. Gloria said everyone knows you can't time the real estate market. However, you can sell your home in the months that are statistically the most profitable to sell real estate. For the past 20 years, Gloria's been successfully selling homes in our area. How's she been so successful? She already has the buyers, which allows her to guarantee to sell your home at your pre-agreed upon price and time frame, or she'll buy it. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Have you always dreamed of a lush green lawn? Get that beautiful curb appeal without the hassle by calling Professional Irrigation Systems. They'll install your new automatic lawn sprinkler system and give you a variety of options and warranties. Don't spend half your day lugging a hose around watering your lawn. Let Professional Irrigation Systems do the work for you. They offer spring activations, backflow testing, mid-season tune-ups, and winterization. Call the pros that have been in business for 20 years. Professional Irrigation Systems. Online at proirrigation.com.
Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Yes or no? Man, that is a real poll to pay attention to, though. I was watching it over the weekend. Love to know your thoughts. It is 12:46 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream.
Give me a second, I need to get my story straight. My friends are in the
This
bathroom
is the
getting
Annie Frey
tired
Show.
and the Empire State. My
Follow
love is
Annie on
waiting for
Instagram
me.
at
Just
The
across
Annie
the
Frey
bar,
Show.
my seat's been taken by some sunglasses, asking about a scar. And I know I gave it to you months ago. I know you're trying to forget, but between the drinks and subtle things, the holes in my apologies, you know, I'm trying hard to take it back. So if by the time
Wiggins!
Monday Roundup!
Where's the wildest ride in the wilderness? It needs to be in there.
It's in Orlando.
It needs to be in the intro.
I'll think about that. I have a love-hate relationship with that ride, though.
I wasn't really concerned about that. It was more for the people who listen to the show.
I'm not worried about them as much
Who
as I
might
am
know?
my kidneys.
He's like, I love the ride, then I hate it.
I understand it. I think
Yeah.
we should put it in there, which we talked about 2 months ago.
Yeah,
Maybe
but I don't know
3.
that I agree with it. So, we'll continue to talk about it. Let's
It wasn't
have
really like
a meeting.
discussion. It was like, put it in there.
Let's schedule that for Wednesday afternoon, and we'll make that a topic of discussion on Wednesday afternoon. Hey, let's talk about what happened this weekend. This is the Monday Roundup, and everything you need to know in one short segment that you missed over the weekend. First, how college students are now renting moms. According to a recent article in the Wall Street Journal, parents are hiring concierge services for their college students, leaving to professionals some duties usually done by moms.
Not
like
in college.
hugs.
Oh, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard in my life.
That's why I wanted to lead with it. Yeah, it's it's just
Hugs?
bizarre. I guess they're hiring these people to show up and just pretend to be a motherly figure for a short time and give hugs.
Just stay in college. They'll teach you how the government does that.
Exactly. So I'm assuming that you would not pay for this.
What else?
What else do they do?
Okay, so you're saying that you can pay people to pretend to be motherly and hug you.
Yeah.
So
How much does it cost to make sure I pay that never happens to me?
Well, you could pay me a certain amount and I could monitor that for you. So
So is this like individual college students doing this, or is this like the frat house is hiring a frat mom?
this sounds like it's a little bit more rent-a-mom for individuals. This is Boston Concierge Services for Students is the name of the business. According to The Guardian, their services cost around $10,000 per year. So you get a full year out of it. Oh my gosh. I really can't figure out what you're getting out of this, though, because other than just saying hugs, I don't get what the moms are exactly providing.
Maybe it's like Fight Club.
Yeah. Yeah, once you're in, you're in.
Just hire a bunch of moms and let them fight it out.
And then at the end, you find out that there actually was no rent-a-mom. It was you the whole time.
What if you don't spoil it. What if you rent a mom? This could happen today. What if there's somebody who's always wanted to be a mom, but they used to be a man, transitioned to a woman? And you rent this person to be your mother, and they show up. Like, do you have to just follow through?
I don't know. I will call them and ask what it would take.
Anything that is established in gender roles, you can't, as a society, have it both ways. I'm not making a joke. I know you are making it a joke. I'm not making it a joke. When you have things that are based in gender, traditional gender roles, when people say that somebody will show up and be a mom to you, that means something. It has to mean something. If it no longer means something, then we have lost one of the most foundational parts of our culture that we cannot repair or fill that hole in any other possible way. And if we're going to put grown men who still have their junk in a swimming pool to compete against women. This seems to be incredibly low level opportunity for somebody who, maybe there's a man who transitioned to be a woman, and whatever, you go do you. That's fine. If it doesn't affect me, but if I'm participating in this service and somebody shows up because I feel like I need a hug from somebody who's going to treat me like their mom, and it's somebody who has transitioned, what are we supposed to do in this culture right now? Because if we're accepting it one place, we have to accept it everywhere.
It's actually a very good point, because there is no consistency with this. I love the ones where they say, well, this guy is transphobic because he doesn't want to date a person who still has their man parts but dresses as a woman. It's true. I guess you can't have it both ways.
It's one way or the other.
It's one way or the other.
And we need to keep reminding people of that.
Independent advisors to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration are meeting this week to discuss the regulations, ethics, and possibilities of creating artificial wombs to increase the chances that extremely premature babies would survive and without long-term health problems. No such device has been tested in humans as of yet, but part of that is being addressed right now with the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
How does this work?
So they have artificial wombs that exist outside the woman's body, and they have tested this with animals so far successfully for very premature born animals, and they want to start doing tests. I don't know if they just jump right into let's try it on a human.
So the premise here is there's a prematurely born baby.
Yes.
20 weeks.
I think they're saying even before that, but yes.
Let's just use it as a pinpoint. 20 weeks, baby's born prematurely. We can now transfer that baby to live in an artificial womb and live. Yeah, I said that. In an artificial womb so that it can develop to full gestation.
Yes, exactly.
Who's doing this?
A variety of companies. It's the U.S. Food and Drug Administration is meeting this week to discuss companies doing it.
How do we celebrate a medical advancement like that when we are willing? We just had this conversation in the chat last week. People are saying that the idea of abortion, specifically in Illinois, you can have an abortion at any time for any reason throughout the entire duration of the pregnancy. You're getting induced on Tuesday, go abort that baby on Monday. Legal, fine. And people always come back and say, nobody does that. Well, then why is it legal? Because if nobody does it, that when you say something like that, it makes it sound to me like even you understand that that's outrageous. But for some reason in the state of Illinois, it's got to be legal because you want unfettered access to abortion where even if you're a minor, and I'm talking minor, you could get that abortion without even having to tell an adult. Just secrets here between you and me, an adult that doesn't have anything to do with raising a child who's pregnant who's getting this abortion in Illinois. Secrets are safe. This is how you get into situations like this. And I made the point last week, there is never, ever a single time, there's no existence where the baby has to be murdered, aborted, life ended to protect the life of the mother. It never happens. There's not a single time. There are instances where a woman will be forced to deliver a child that may not make it outside of the womb, but you don't just deliver the baby or snip the spinal cord with a scissors in order to protect the life of the mother. You induce a labor, you do a C-section, you remove the life of the child, and then you proceed with protecting the life of the mother and invest in saving the life of the mother. There's no instance where the death of the child on a premature delivery, that the active participation in the ending of that child's life is necessary to save the life of the mother. And now we're suggesting woman's life is in danger, 20 weeks. That baby is going to be born at 20 weeks, and that baby's likely not going to survive. Although I have a dear friend of mine who was born in 1983 at 23 weeks plus gestation, and he's just fine. In the 80s. But now we're saying if this baby were to be born at 20 weeks in, that we would actually be able to say, we'll put the life over here and continue to grow this child.
Right.
Why would we invest in that? And have that understanding of a medical marvel, whether I agree with it or not, and still be over here in the state of Illinois going, You could put that baby in that artificial womb to 39 weeks and 5 days and murder that baby then. It's the same thing. And you're an absolute savage hypocrite if you don't see it that way.
Yeah. I know we got to wrap here, but I do think that this one was important to hit because you will be hearing more about this in the next couple of years as part of that discussion, most likely. Real quick, with the student loan repayment pause officially coming to an end next week, Americans will have to start paying back their loans for the first time in over a year and a half. Question is, what happens if you miss your payment? Biden administration's got you covered.
Nothing.
So, yeah, the answer is nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing until the key date of October 1st, 2024, when they will begin reporting that you're delinquent, and then you'll find out about it, roughly right after the election.
Yeah.
Just so you know. But
That's odd timing.
it does seem weird to me. It does seem like you could have done this really at any point, or extending the the no checks and balances on this for another 12 months seems like a weird thing to do while you're getting credit that you're restarting the payments. I don't know. Just me, but I think that's a little strange, the timing.
When we come back, we're going to speak to Rob Laws, the director at the First Policy Institute. We're going to talk about immigration as it's hitting our southern border over and over and over again. What's going on down there and what are we doing to stop it? We'll speak with Rob Law when we come back. Don't go away.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Well, I love it when I get testimonies about Fountains Family Dentistry. That means that not only are you going there, but you're enjoying the experience. This one's from Tamara. It says, everyone at Fountains Family Dentistry at the Fairview Heights location is friendly and truly care about all of their patients. I moved about 25 miles away from them last September and still continue to go there. They're great about reminding you of your appointment and also understand when you can't make it. I can't stress enough how great the people are at Fountains Family Dentistry. You'll know from the time you set foot in there that they get along and they're there not to waste your time, but they're going to make it a great experience for you. Dr. Ty Parker has state-of-the-art everything, so you don't have to worry about stepping into a dentist office from 20 years ago. You're going to get the best of everything that the dental world has to offer, and you get it with great people. Again, easy to make an appointment with them. I say it all the time. You go to fountains.familydentistry.com. It's right there on the homepage, but you can give them a call if you prefer that. fountains.familydentistry.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The human costs of a government shutdown. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's what the White House is highlighting with less than a week left to avoid a shutdown.
I'm here today to suggest that there are real consequences to real people in a real way when there is a shutdown, especially one that ought not to happen.
U.S. Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack says nutrition assistance for millions of pregnant women and newborns are among the benefits at stake. The White House also accusing some House Republicans of proposing reckless cuts to keep the government open. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy is critical of several Republican holdouts on a short-term funding bill. He says shutting down the government would make their position weaker.
Why would they want to stop paying the troops or stop paying the border agents or the Coast Guard? I don't understand
how that makes you stronger. I don't understand what point you're trying to make.
Though a short-term proposal so far does not include disaster funding or Ukraine aid, making it not likely to pass the Democrat-controlled Senate either. New Jersey senior Senator Bob Menendez says he'll be exonerated as he faces a second corruption indictment.
The cornerstone of the foundation of American democracy and our justice system is the principle that all people are presumed innocent until proven guilty. All people. I ask for nothing more and deserve nothing less.
The longtime Democratic lawmaker denies taking bribes or illegally using his influence to help Egypt's government. He has temporarily stepped down as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, but is refusing calls to resign. The white gunman who killed 23 people at a Texas Walmart in a racist attack on Hispanic shoppers agrees to pay more than $5 million to victims' families. A federal judge signing off on the restitution amount for Patrick Crucius, though he's already been sentenced to 90 consecutive life sentences and could still face the death penalty in a Texas trial. America is listening to Fox News.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, you're up next. Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight. Here, try these. Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Plenty of sunshine with us on this Monday afternoon. 82 for the high, a little bit above average. Tonight, partly to mostly clear. 70s for evening plans. 62. Tuesday, partly sunny. Just a slight chance of a spot shower in the afternoon. Tuesday, 85. Much the same on Wednesday. Full moon is this week on Friday. It's known as the full harvest moon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance-free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary event, you get same-as-cash financing on Hardie products and Pella windows. Let Banner Construction transform your home into the envy of the neighborhood. Call now and have Banner's design team give you some great options and a free quote. 314-569-1050. Online, bannerconstruction.com. That's 569-1050. And have a banner day.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
Stewart's American Mortgage is home of the Bagel Loan. You can't get the Bagel Loan anywhere else. You can only get it with Stewie. And I want to explain to you why I have trusted Stewie with my own personal refinances. I did 2 Bagel Loan refinances with him years ago. Well, 2019 and maybe 21, maybe. And the reason I did it is because rates had gone down. The second time I did it is because I needed to take some of the equity out of my home so that I could put a deck on the back of my house. the equity in your house has increased over time, and the chances are your house is worth a lot more than what you paid for it before. I want you to think about how Stewie can help you with a mortgage refinance. I know rates are higher now than they were likely when you got your mortgage in the first place, but if your credit card debt has crawled up, and you're figuring to yourself, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to get ahead of this thing because rates are at like 30%. Reach out to Stewie and ask him that question. And your answer is going to be different than the next person and the next person, and he's going to help you if he can. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Come face-to-face with that credit card debt that's been mounting that you're trying to get down and address it with Stewart's American Mortgage. You can Google the Bagel Loan to find out more. NMLS number 226715.
Mark Reardon sees clearly thanks to Doctors Birdie and Maholtred Ophthalmology Associates. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today. That's youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to The Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
Dogs on Duty supports working dogs, and 97.1 FM Talk proudly supports Dogs on Duty for this month's Conservatives Care. I'm Sue Thomas. Check out this great organization at 971talk.com/care.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Not only are we talking felony charges, but we're talking mostly robberies, because that's what they are. You know, force or fear is being used in the process of taking this property. We're also alleging conspiracy because we have a group of people that are coming together for the purposes of committing a crime. We're looking for other charges as well, depending on the circumstances. You know, whether you have people that have prior history, whether there were other crimes involved. But they are all clearly felonies. They're being prosecuted accordingly, and we're committed to prosecuting these crimes to the fullest.
So there you have Gascon talking about how in Los Angeles, the DA there, they're prosecuting retail theft crimes to the fullest. And you look, we're here in St. Louis, Missouri, folks. We know what non-prosecuted crime looks like in a really dramatic fashion. Across the country, you see crime infiltrating these cities, and the people who are in charge of these cities going, let's make sure we know who the real victims are. And it's never the people on the other end of a crime. In New York City, we're seeing an infiltration of so many different migrants who have been sent there, who have found their way there. We're busting at the seams. We don't even have anybody who's willing to address the actual problems. I want to get our next guest on the air here with us. Robert Law joins us. He's the director for the Center for Homeland Security and Immigration. Robert, thank you for being on with us today. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Appreciate you having me on.
I'm looking at this Fox News article on that is posted right now, and it says Congressman Ralph Norman of South Carolina clashed with CNN host Jim Acosta on Sunday over the border crisis, with the GOP lawmaker arguing that CNN should report on what's going on. Acosta repeatedly asked Norman how Republicans plan to secure the border if there is a government shutdown and said, I guess I don't understand that. They go on to talk about rapes taking place at the southern border, all of the crime, the children, the disenfranchised children that are part of this. What is actually really taking place on our southern border, and how is it getting into the rest of the country?
Well, the southern border is the most chaotic and just it's horrific to put into perspective just how bad it is. We're hearing reports of 11,000 illegal aliens in just a 24-hour period flooding into American communities. Just for some context, during the Obama administration, their Department of Homeland Security secretary said that 1,000 a day was a very bad day in his mind. And now here we are, we're talking 10, 11 times that. And this is all due to Biden administration policies, which have removed any form of deterrence and have essentially opened up the border. And people are continuing to come in record numbers. And people like Jim Acosta and the legacy media fail to cover it properly. And that is also what's contributing to this.
So when I see that you said 11,000 people a day, is that in a 24-hour period?
That is the most recent reporting, yeah. And even when it was less than that, 7,000, 8,000, those were still record highs. Basically, every day this administration is setting the wrong type of record at the southern border.
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I've lived in small southern Illinois towns, and 11,000 would fill those towns up multiple times over. That is so many people. It's unsustainable. When the current administration clearly is allowing this to happen, because if they were as shocked as many of us were, they would do something to stop it. What are the actual plans right now for these people to exist in harmony with Americans inside our borders right now? What's the plan?
There doesn't seem to be a plan. From the administration's perspective, it's let them in and process them out of custody as quickly as possible, put them on a plane, put them on a bus, put them somewhere so they can go to their desired destination. And at that point, this administration has essentially washed their hands of it. And they say it falls down to the states and the local communities to try to figure this out. This administration is trying to give some of them work permits, but there's no plan for housing. There's no plan for schools being overrun. There's no plans for Americans who are going to continue to be sidelined in the economy as you now introduce, a surge of lower skilled workers as well. There is no plan. It's just come on in, and the rest of it is just left for the American people to feel the negative impact.
We're speaking with Rob Law. He's the director at the Center for Homeland Security and Immigration at America First Policy Institute. Okay, so let me ask you this question, because I'm trying to understand, even if I 100% completely disagree with what maybe Joe Biden's administration is doing, I want to understand it and try to see the perspective from the other side. If your policy is to let them in, and my understanding is before Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, and before Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, decided to make a political statement about busing people into some big blue sanctuary cities, that the administration was, as you said, flying them places and busing them places. So they were being relocated throughout the country. If your policy as an administration, when you see this happening, is to distribute these people throughout the United States to potentially get the benefits of living in this country, maybe potentially down the line trying to get them some status of residency or establish a path to citizenship, if all of these things are accessible to people coming across the border who are breaking our laws by coming here and then bearing the fruits of the labor of the people who are paying taxes here, how special can being an American or being on American soil be? If you're the administrator and you're looking at what you're willingly giving away to all of these people, if it's not worth being protected, then how special can the president of the United States actually think that being an American is?
Well, I think you're absolutely right. This open border situation is a complete devaluation of what it means to be the United States. If you don't have borders and you don't control who comes in under what terms and conditions, you cease to be a sovereign nation. And this really is going to lead to the destruction of our institutions. The schools are overrun. The hospitals are overrun. Oftentimes, illegal aliens go to emergency rooms for just routine care and then skip out on the bill. There's an element of the population that is here to commit crimes. So state and local law enforcement is being taxed as well. In American people, this is the epitome of an America Last policy.
So you're with America First Policy Institute, and I know that one of the main focuses of what America First Policy Institute is trying to do is to create a plan so that immediately upon any leader, any president's willingness to participate, I'm sure that if Joe Biden came to AFPI and was like, "Hey, what do you got for me? How do you think we could fix this problem?" That AFPI wouldn't be like, "You're not a Republican. No, we're not giving this to you." But if a Republican were to win in 407 days in the general election and take office in January of 2025, what do we do immediately to stop this problem from occurring?
So the number one thing to do is you've got to secure the southern border, and there are enough policies that could be available. So this notion that Congress has to fund more border patrol agents and things like that, this is a policy failure, not a resources issue. So the Remain in Mexico policy was the most effective border security policy ever put in place. So if you start doing that immediately, which means if you're going to come to the southern border and claim asylum, even though 90% of those are bogus claims, you're no longer going to be released into American communities. So you have a choice. You'll either be detained or you can wait in Mexico until you have your court case. And what we found during the Trump administration was that people realized if I'm not going to get that end result of being released, it's not really worth it. And people would give up on their claims. They would turn around and go back to their home country, and that would discourage future waves. Now, it's a mess on the interior. And so how do you start removing all these people that this administration has allowed in? It's kind of like how do you eat an elephant, one bite at a time. And again, you allow ICE to do their job. ICE has been completely sidelined for the last 2.5 years. And so while the left, used to campaign on, defund ICE, they've really been sidelined. So they've effectively accomplished that. So you allow ICE to do their enforcement measures. You start securing the border by detaining people or making them wait in Mexico. Then you can start making some other policy changes as well. But those are things that could be done immediately on day one.
We're speaking with Rob Law. He's the director for Center for Homeland Security and Immigration at America First Policy Institute. We've got, like I said, 400. I've got a countdown on my phone. I don't just know these things. I have a countdown to the election and a countdown to Christmas, and I need to look at one in order to take care of the other. 91 days till Christmas, folks. When you are seeing that we have this much time before another president would be able to take the place of Joe Biden and potentially do a 180 on a lot of these issues, how bad could it get in the amount of time that we have left before someone might go in and make some different decisions?
The numbers that we're currently witnessing, 11,000 in the 24-hour period, like we've talked about, it's unsustainable, and there seems to be no shortage of that. And just the sheer number of illegal aliens that could make their way into this country, before a potential change in administration, would have devastating consequences. And so, you've had a number of states that have challenged some of these policies in court. But at the end of the day, Congress, I think, really needs to start doing a better job of holding this administration accountable. They need to defund these open border policies and compel this administration to actually uphold the laws that they swore that they would enforce.
Last question before we let you go. We're speaking with Robert Law with America First Policy Institute. I visited the southern border, was able to do that for about 3 days in the end of June, I think it was, and got to see firsthand, the pathways that are there for people to follow, to come to the Rio Grande, stood at the Rio Grande, saw how they just come in. My biggest takeaway was that the cartels are in charge. It's not even really the Mexican government right now that is having a say in what is going on right there at the southern border, that the cartels are so dangerous and so influential on both sides of the United States-Mexico border that they really have the ability to run and reign free there and really decide how this border is going to be policed. We've heard specifically from several candidates for president talk about military intervention. I'm wondering, what is the response, what is the appropriate American response to these cartels that are absolutely gruesome in the way that they police themselves, that southern border?
Well, you're definitely right that the cartels have operational control of the southern border, and there's not a single illegal alien that's coming across the border that hasn't paid the cartels to be smuggled or trafficked across the border. So open borders has been a highly lucrative business for the cartels, generating billions of dollars a year just in smuggling alone, and then that doesn't even count for the drugs. all options need to be on the table. The cartels are public enemy number one to the American people. Whether that is a military intervention, what really needs to happen is a strong administration, a strong president that will use leverage to force his Mexican counterpart to do something as well. You need to sort of target the financial aspect of it as well, freeze assets. You need to surge, some intelligence resources so you have a better understanding of the problem, and you need to be willing to possibly engage right there with them. They're highly dangerous, highly powerful. Thanks a lot to this administration for that happening, but all options need to be considered to help defeat the cartels.
Robert Law, thank you for your time today. We appreciate it. I'm never going to let this issue go until we get it back. I know family and friends who have experienced death from fentanyl, and they don't have any opinion. Well, they might now, but they didn't ever think about the southern border, and it's reaching its way into homes all across America in a whole host of terrible ways. And so we will continue talking about it here, and we're glad you joined our conversation.
Yep, happy to be on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. His name is Robert Law. He's the director for Center for Homeland Security and Immigration at America First Policy Institute. I'll remind you here, this is what Ron DeSantis said about the border.
All options are on the table to defend the American people. People are dying by the tens of thousands because of the fentanyl that's trafficked in. And we talk a lot about the porous border, and it is very porous, and it's sad, and there's vast expansions where there's no wall, no barrier. We're going to obviously build the wall and do that. But what I've seen in my trips down there, and I've taken a number of them, the cartels will actually cut through the good part of the border wall. Like a blowtorch or a saw, they have backpacks on, they run in the drugs. So my view as Commander-in-Chief would be is we have to have appropriate rules of engagement to say if you're cutting through a border wall on sovereign U.S. territory and you're trying to poison Americans, you're going to end up stone cold dead. We are not going to put up with this.
I love it. I love the rhetoric. I love the way he says it. I love the way I feel I believe him. And the truth is, I think Donald Trump could take that same policy, will take that same policy. He's already done it before. He's already drastically had a different outcome based on the policies that he had in place and his ability to work with the Mexican government to get Mexico back in shape so that if there's a problem, it goes to their southern border and they can lean on America for support and all of that. Every single Republican running for office would do better than Joe Biden. And I'm not even so sure that every Democrat who might challenge Joe Biden for that position would also do better than Joe Biden. He is an absolute disgrace when it comes to protecting the sovereignty of our country. There is nothing more important than making sure that the people in the homeland of the United States of America are safe and secure. And Joe Biden doesn't care about it because he thinks that there's some sort of political point to be made by his current complete and total ignorance, willful ignorance to what is going on the southern border. It's disgusting. And if it hasn't gotten to your home, I can't stress enough for the soccer moms out there, the suburban moms out there, the people who don't pay attention to these things and you hate the bickering and you hate the fighting and you think they are all terrible. Have you ever said that before? I think they all suck. I think everybody who's running for president is awful. Well, keep fentanyl out of your school, off of your suburban streets, because it's coming to a place near you and to somebody near you. And we need somebody who's willing to go in there and say something like what Ron DeSantis said and do things like Donald Trump has done to say no more, not here on American soil, because it is the greatest soil in the world and it deserves to be protected. It has been protected with American blood for its entirety of its existence. They're taking our blood. I'm so tired of the apathy towards this issue. And I also don't like that we have to have a slow news day in order to make it be the priority of subject once again. We're going to take a quick break. Ryan Wiggins back in studio with us when we return. Join us on the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now and vote on today's poll on a poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington poll suggests? Washington Post poll suggests. Yes or no? All right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
lunch break or maybe wrapping up your lunch break and you're thinking about dinner tonight. What are you going to have? What are you going to make? Go online to rulerfoods.com right now and find the one closest to you and figure out how you can save. Make tonight the night you visit Ruler Foods. Do your weekly shopping and save so much money when you shop at Ruler Foods. They have Kroger brands at Ruler Foods prices. So we got Kroger's around here. They just are Ruler Foods. But they also have all the name brands that you normally would shop for everywhere else. Why would you pass up on the opportunity to get a dozen eggs for 88 cents? A dozen eggs in this economy for 88 cents at Ruler Foods. I know that their egg prices are ridiculously low, but I don't usually get to tell you that. I'm excited that they're allowing me to do that right now. If you're passing up that opportunity to save and you use as many eggs as our family of 6 does, what are we doing? Why are we there? Also, this Wednesday, we're going to be at the Ruler Foods, broadcasting live at the Collinsville, Illinois Ruler Foods to get diapers for Princess Storm's diaper drive over on Hot 104.1. One of my favorite things that we do all year is to support our sister over there, sister station, and our sister in Princess Storm as she collects diapers to help babies in the St. Louis area. I can't think of a more obvious thing for you to do with your Wednesday afternoon than to get a box of diapers, a package of diapers, whatever you can afford, and come drop them by Wednesday afternoon while we are broadcasting live. All of us will be out there Wednesday at the Collinsville Ruler Foods. Come support Princess Storm and those babies that need diapers on their bottoms with our help. Find them all online at rulerfoods.com.
Hey, Bernie Federico here. Over the years, you've heard me talk about Lakeside Renovation and Design. My friends Matt and Dan have been in the business for over 25 years and have done everything on my home, from James Hardy siding, Infinity from Marvin Windows, and even a couple of room additions. These guys are great, and you can trust them with your home. Check out their website to see for yourself all the beautiful work they've done. You can find them online at lakesidrenovationanddesign.com. Be sure to ask about their unbelievable financing options. Lakeside Renovation and Design.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
Hey, I'm Rick Manello. 2 years after attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was able to sell my Amazon business for over $400,000.
Hi, I'm Amy Sherlock. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar to learn how to work from home while raising my son. Today, I do $175,000 in sales per month.
Hi, I'm Hillary. Before attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I was a school teacher. Today, I work from home selling products on Amazon.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. That's right. Discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula Formula Live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Hey, Mike Elam pinch hitting on Monday afternoon as I have a medical procedure that involves the Michael Jackson drugs. He'll have Lieutenant Governor Mike Kehoe at 5:07.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
Ron DeSantis is going to be honest about who he is. He's a pro-life governor, and he passed a pro-life heartbeat bill, the same bill that the voters supported and got passed in Iowa, Georgia, Ohio, several other states. I think the former president's words are pretty clear. These were terrible things. I heard them. The voters in Iowa heard them. And this is not the Donald Trump that I remember from 2016.
So when you're listening to it, you need to understand the source of those words. There is a DeSantis campaign manager. So
Gotcha.
Oh, Donald Trump didn't do something you like or did something you didn't like, whatever. And Ron DeSantis had it right. I really want to shake this out a little bit because we were talking about abortion in the Wiggins America segment. And Ryan, just recap quickly here. The scientific, you don't need to just make it up like you usually do.
I'm trying to find the article so I can give you this.
You got it right there.
Make it up.
It wasn't.
Actually,
I promise that
it's
wasn't
Ryan
made up.
Wiggins' womb that will be used.
Artificial. You know, I wasn't born with one. So, the story is that the U.S. FDA is meeting this week to discuss regulations, ethics, and possibilities of creating an artificial womb that right now has never been used on humans, but it would be potentially life-altering for premature born babies.
So, premature born fetus?
Yes. Well,
delivered.
I call them babies.
Yeah, so do I. And the baby's born, but it's too early. There's still a lot of development that needs to be done. You put in an artificial womb and finish baking the bun in the oven. It's just an artificial one, and then the baby would be potentially, the idea is that the baby would be born full term. Well, we're told all the time, you know, the advocates for what about the life of the mother and rape and incest, which is where 90% of the abortion argument happens in those issues, but it's actually like top 6% of the abortions are that case. I mean, I'm sitting here saying abortion at any time, if this is what you need, to sleep at night, I'll give you that 6% for the purpose of right now. And let's talk about the 94%, which are elective. Let's talk about those. And Republicans, let's talk about what we're going to do to support these women who, as long as it's legal, choose life and don't choose abortion. Abortion is always such you can't run for president and not talk about abortion. It's a huge issue. It should be. We talked about Louis C.K. last week he said abortion is an issue where there are two camps and they see this issue so fundamentally at the ground floor, see it differently. One side says that abortion is the same as any other bodily function like defecation. He's very crude about it, but the idea that you would be expelling waste from your body, that's what an abortion is according to Louis C.K. And the other people think it's baby murder. And you can't have a conversation about what to do about this thing if one of you thinks it's defecation and the other thinks it's baby murder. You can't have that conversation. You don't have a common understanding of what A, the problem is, if there is one, and B, how to solve it. So then you have President Trump, who said a few weeks ago this.
What's going to happen is you're going to come up with a number of weeks or months. You're going to come up with a number that's going to make people happy, because 92% of the Democrats don't want to see abortion after a certain period of time.
If a federal ban landed on your desk, if you were reelected, would you sign it at 15
Are you talking about a complete ban?
A ban at 15 weeks?
Well, people are starting to think of 15 weeks. That seems to be a number that people are talking about right now.
Would you sign that?
I would sit down with both sides and I'd negotiate something, and we'll end up with peace on that issue for the first time in 52 years. I'm not going to say I would or I wouldn't. I mean, DeSantis is willing to sign a 5-week and 6-week ban.
Would you support that? You think that
I
goes
think what
too
he
far?
did is a terrible thing and a terrible mistake.
So I honestly, until that last 5 seconds there, was like, yes, Trump, this makes sense.
I know.
There are two things that he says there that really get under my skin. To suggest that what Ron DeSantis did in Florida is a terrible thing is so stupid of Donald Trump to say that. States have their own rights. If you want to talk about a terrible thing, Donald Trump, may I show you something in Illinois? That's a terrible thing. It is a horrifically tragic and terrible thing what's going on in Illinois. I understand that Ron DeSantis is your opponent, but in the end, he's not. Ron DeSantis is going to support you when you become the nominee, and Florida is going to support you when you become the nominee. The other thing he says that he's wrong about is that we'll have peace on the issue. We will never have peace on the issue. That is not the end goal. Isn't appeasement of the majority of people. This is a moral issue. This is an issue that has to do with human rights, or it has to do with defecation. You can't reconcile those two things. And if you can't reconcile it, if you're not going to sit in the middle of the room, to me, this is where I think of King Solomon in the Bible talks about splitting the baby. Pastor, you want to brief the people who may not be familiar with this?
So there were two mothers that were arguing over who was actually the real mother of this child. And so what King Solomon said was, fine, we can't figure out who the real mother is. So what we'll do is we'll divide the baby in half, split it in half, and give one half to one mother and one half to the other mother. And then one mother said, no, stop. And said that the other mother could have the baby. When that mother said that, when that one lady claiming to be the mother said that, King Solomon knew that that was the real mother, because only a real mother would be sacrificially giving away her child like that to save its life.
How wise. Conservatives need to stop being okay with splitting the baby. Because what ends up happening when you have a compromise in government, in secular government, when you have compromise on an issue like abortion, and that means that we save more babies, we have to understand that the compromise, although that's a dirty word, although the idea that you would say, this is what happens in political commercials and primaries, folks. You've seen them. Let's just say Congressman Ryan Wiggins agreed to a 20-week abortion ban. And maybe Ryan Wiggins, when he was in Congress, led the charge to ban abortion after 20 weeks and got everybody to agree with it. Your primary candidate, so that they can ding you, is going to say that Ryan Wiggins, Congressman Ryan Wiggins, voted to make abortion legal through 20 weeks. So now you're killing those 20 weeks of babies instead of saving those 20 weeks of babies. And it's just a matter of perspective. Mm-hmm. It's not about the glass being half full or half empty. The glass is 50% full. That's the fact. The rest is perspective. And what Republicans get all wrapped up in a primary talking about, when it comes to abortion is it's a slap fight over who is going to be on the right side of it. And what Donald Trump did is what Donald Trump does is, since he's not really a politician, he says, I'm going to sit down and talk to people. We're going to figure out what we can figure out. And what Republicans need to do, and I'm saying this as somebody who I don't really feel like I need to show you my resume on how pro-life I am. I'm pretty much as pro-life as you can get. But I'm also rational enough to understand that if you are going to compromise at a 30-week ban on abortion, that we are going to save 10 weeks of babies. We fight that battle. We win that battle, but the war is not over. And if Donald Trump is talking on this issue specifically about how we are going to work on something, the person interviewing him, does anybody remember who that was who was interviewing him? I don't know if I have it in. It's an old clip.
Yeah.
It wasn't a conservative interview.
No. I think it was MSNBC.
And he's sitting there and he's saying, we're going to agree. He says he doesn't even specify the week that he would say abortion is good here and not there.
Right. Yeah. He won't say.
And he's not saying because he doesn't want to give up the negotiating ground. He wants to wait and see what these people are talking about. And the interviewer wants a week. The interview is like, when is it going to be? Why? Because this interviewer wants to set the line where everybody goes and separates, where everybody on the pro-life side, and of course everybody who's on the pro-abortion, no, not pro-choice, pro-abortion side, they all hate him already because he's willing to do anything on abortion. But what it does is it gives people who like to live in comment sections and on message boards who hate the idea of pro-life measures and who love the idea of abortion because they understand how much of a power play it is in culture. What they want to do on the left is take Donald Trump and say, give me a week. Give me a week when it becomes okay and when it doesn't become okay. Well, the answer is there's never a week when it's okay because you're ending the life of a child. But I got to work with these people and I got to work to save every baby that I can. So I'm going to talk and see what we can get past. That's politics, and it's gross, and it's disgusting, and it doesn't make it so that it's okay. This is where Trump is wrong. There will be no peace on this issue because our society is broken and depraved, and this is the direction that we're headed in perpetually. But we have to, as conservatives, every primary that is about to happen right now, you have to look at what we can do to get something done. It's not a purity test. And what Ron DeSantis does in Florida may be different than what he plans to do in the office of the presidency, should he become the president in 24 or 28 or whenever. It is not a rip and read where you go, I'm a governor of this state, and this is how I'm going to govern as the president of the United States, because it's different people. Different people send you there. That's why localized government in the United States of America is so important. States' rights is so necessary to protecting the closest to the American individual tax-paying citizen, the right to influence how you are governed. It's different when it becomes the president. And Republicans get tied up in knots so easily played by the left. When you throw a week out there like that, they are playing you like a freaking fiddle to get you to devour one another, because if somebody says, let's pass a heartbeat bill, let's pass a 20-week ban, boom, now the left has what they're going to use. They're just going to do drive-by drop-ins where they're going to put that out there and be like, are you okay with this? This person wants to make abortion legal until 20 weeks. And then they just walk away while conservatives and Republicans devour themselves on this issue. And at the end, no laws made. Abortion is legal in the state of Illinois at your whim. And if you're a minor, again, you have no responsibility to tell your guardian or your parent what happened. Nobody has to care for you. You come home and you're dealing with the effects, the purging of a life from your body, and nobody has to know because Illinois is willing to keep that secret with you from your guardians. And while Republicans devour themselves on this issue, nothing gets done, and Democrats win. It's awful. And we need to put pressure on ourselves to be better than that.
It's one of the very few times that I will say, I think Trump is actually being strategically smart here. Because he tends to do things that don't look like he's being politically savvy. In this case, he did not fall for that trap. Now, he said things that I don't necessarily like, but he did not fall for that trap that Democrats and Democrat media are trying to put him in.
Well, I think it all goes back to what Annie was saying at the very, very beginning of this. You can't get anywhere on this until you agree on what abortion actually does. When you listen to somebody from the left argue about whether or not there should be abortion, when they're talking about how many weeks or whatever, what they're arguing for is a woman's right. They don't believe that this is ending the life of a child. They don't believe it. And so whenever you go and you say, if you believe that this is ending the life of the child, until you settle that, you can't get anywhere, because then what that host is asking Trump, to your point, is how many weeks does the woman have the right to have an abortion, is what she's asking. And what conservatives are hearing is, how many weeks can a woman kill her child? Those are two different things on two different wavelengths. And until we settle whether or not this is the life of a child, and because if you can, which I believe the science is on your side, if this is a life of a child, I think you can win this debate, and you don't even have to settle on a date, because abortion will become unthinkable.
We will not culturally ever agree on this, which is why you have to be in a position to have a rational conversation that involves compromise for the benefit of those children who you can save. You will not save them all. Will abortion still happen in back alleys? I don't know why the left keeps promising me the answer to that is yes.
Yes, good point.
But they say it will. But that life of that unborn child ends the same in an alley as it does in an exam room. And every one of those lives is worth fighting for. We're going to take a quick break. More Annie Frey Show in a few minutes.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
WindowWorld.com. Have you visited them yet? If you're in the market for windows, I want you to introduce yourself for the windows that are simply the best for less. You can also call them at 314-993-1800. You can call them for a free home estimate, and they'll show you how they are simply the best for less. They give you a double strength glass that gives it strength not commonly used in replacement windows, so that you know that your investment into replacing those builder's grade windows, or the ones that have lost their insulation, their ability to keep the energy you're paying to heat and cool inside, and the air outside that's getting chillier and chillier in the winter, keep that outside as well. You want quality windows, but you don't want to pay an arm and a leg for them, so you reach out to Window World. Many people in the St. Louis area absolutely have. They are one of two windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval, and right now they're offering 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. Call Window World at 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800, and find out the windows that are simply the best for less for yourself. You can find them online right now by visiting windowworld.com.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group, for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling.
I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a great month to get rid of all your aerosol sprays. When we each share a one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Today's Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll is on a poll. It's my favorite. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Let us know yes or no and why. Let us know that in the comments. It is 1:51. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
You're listening to award-winning, thought-provoking talk. You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk.
Your home for conservative talk.
On the air for over 20 years.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds just like a song. I want more berries and that summer feeling. It's so wonderful and warm. Breathe me in, breathe me out. I don't know if I could ever go without. I'm just thinking.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar, strawberries.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We were just speaking about Donald Trump and things he said. He's in South Carolina right now. Summerville, South Carolina. Let's listen in and see what he's saying. He just took the stage.
Respected names in the industry, and as I saw just moments ago, every single inch of these beautiful boats is designed and built right here in South Carolina by very skilled South Carolina hands. I know what that means, and proud South Carolina hearts. I want to thank Sportsman's owners, Tommy Hancock and Brinkley Melvin, as well as the CEO of South Carolina Boating and Fishing Alliance. Get us Brannon, not Bandon. Get us Brannon. You know who that is. Thanks also to your great governor. This is a great governor. He kept this place open. But he really kept it open. He didn't, say gee, I kept it open. No, he kept it open. Henry McMaster and Peggy, thank you so much for being here. It's a great couple. They're great people. What a great governor he's been. It was one of the reasons I got her out of here, so I could make him governor of the state. I never said that. That was a big deal. Let her move and we'll get Henry there, and people are very happy about it. Henry, great. Henry was with me right from the beginning of the campaign, early on. I thought she'd be with me, but she went a different way, and I said, wow, that's unusual. And he was there, and then we won in a landslide, and I said, I'll take Henry any day. I'll take Henry any day, and we got him in. Henry, you're doing a great job as governor. Thank you very much. Another man who's always there. He's always, I'll tell you what, when I need help on the left, he's great. He's great. And he's my friend, too. Lindsey Graham, wherever you are. Lindsey, thank you. Oh, no. He helps me on the left. We need help
my gosh.
sometimes. Republicans shouldn't need help on the left, but he helps me. Also, somebody I think you love, and I love him. I remember a burst of real anger and heart years ago in Congress. I'm sure nobody remembers that. Representative Joe Wilson. Joe, thank you.
Do you think that Lindsey Graham
at the time how popular that made?
Turn that on. Thank you. Do you think that Lindsey Graham gets that? I mean, you cannot be a United States senator for as long as he is and have thin skin.
Oh no,
Do you think he thinks that's hilarious?
No, I think he hates it. I think he desperately wants to be liked by everybody, and if somebody boos him,
Is that why he's always the best friend of whomever he can be?
Exactly.
What do you think? Do you think he thinks that's funny? I think he's got to think it's funny.
I think there's a part of him that'd chuckle at it, but I don't think that he particularly loves it. But if people boo him because he said, because one time he's super awesome pro-Trump, and he's been in Trump's camp for a while now. But then other times he says stuff
he's friends with everybody.
Is very anti-Trump. I don't know. I don't think that he loves it, but I think it does make him laugh.
What I don't understand is how Lindsey Graham gets away with it.
That's a good question.
I'm not really mad at it, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time getting bent out of shape about a senator from South Carolina. He votes conservatively. He hasn't voted against my interests at all in the Senate. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what matters. I wish we would go back to what we talked about with Tyrus last week. Can we get stats on these people? Can we look at what they're actually doing instead of all the yakking that they're doing all of the time, says the radio show host. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171. 800-873-7171.
Hey, if you're tired and it is perpetual, it's not just, oh, well, it's the season. I got to get through this season and things will be okay. Or I'm getting over being sick. Those things do happen. But if it is all the time, you may have sleep apnea and you may not even really know it because it creeps up on you. The only reason I found out that I have it is because I'm friends with Dr. Ty Parker and Fountains Family Dentistry. So thankful that I just randomly had that conversation with him probably 15 years ago now. And he is, of course, my dentist. And he goes, dude, I can fix that, right? You probably have sleep apnea. I'm like, no, please tell me more. So I'm passing that information along to you because I got it personally. And I now wear a little retainer to bed, and I don't nap without it or anything. I mean, I wear it all the time. If I'm going to get 20 minutes, I want to wear that thing because it gives me great sleep. So this might be the solution for you. The way to find out is you go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com. You click on sleep medicine there, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. You can give them a call too. Just go to fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Striking
auto workers will have company this week. Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden set to hit a picket line tomorrow in Michigan, a day before former President Trump visits auto workers also in Michigan. The White House says Trump's decision had nothing to do with the president's plans.
This is a decision to visit the picket line was based off his own desire. This is what the president wanted to do, to stand with auto workers. That's what you're going to see the president do tomorrow.
However, spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre declines to say whether the president supports specific proposals as talks continue between the UAW and Detroit's big three automakers. Jean-Pierre says the White House sees bribery charges against Senator Bob Menendez as a serious matter.
And we believe the senator stepping down from his chairmanship was the right thing to do. Obviously, the right thing to do.
Menendez temporarily stepping down as chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee last week, but the New Jersey Democrat denies the allegations laid out in a federal indictment and says the nearly $500,000 in cash found by federal agents is his own money, withdrawn over time.
Now, this may seem old-fashioned, but these were monies drawn from my personal savings account based on the income that I have lawfully derived over those 30 years. I look forward to addressing other issues at trial.
Menendez refusing calls to resign and telling reporters today that prosecutors get it wrong sometimes. New York Governor Kathy Hochul deploying another 150 National Guard troops to help with an influx of migrants to the state.
And what this will allow us to do, 250 National Guard members will focus solely on case management.
Her goal to get migrants authorized to work as quickly as possible. Republicans say that kind of program for migrants who cross illegally is helping to fuel a surge at the southern border. America is listening to Fox News.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Hey, you're up next. Ugh, my throat hurts so bad. There's no way I can sing tonight.
Here, try these.
Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Yeah, Vicks VapoCool Drops has maximum strength menthol with a rush of Vicks Vapors.
Ooh, I can already feel it.
I told you. So, you ready?
I'm ready.
Vaporize sore throat pain fast with Vicks VapoCool Drops.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Plenty of sunshine with us on this Monday afternoon. 82 for the high, a little bit above average. Tonight, partly to mostly clear. 70s for evening plans. 62. Tuesday, partly sunny. Just a slight chance of a spot shower in the afternoon. Tuesday, 85. Much the same on Wednesday. Full moon is this week. On Friday, it's known as the full harvest moon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio.
Sponsored by Age of Learning. Updating your home with James Hardie siding has never been more popular. With all the options available, you need a partner to ensure you maximize your investment. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. They also carry Anderson and Marvin windows and doors. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a a free, no-obligation consultation today. SightingExpress.com.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Celebrate the month of September with Zero Res and get 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $129 and take $50 off your air duct cleaning. Call for the Mark Reardon special, 314-474-2020, or book online at ZeroResSTL.com. Spell it backward or forward, it spells the same. Zero Res.
This is where real local and national accountability happens. This is 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Donald Trump speaking in South Carolina. We dipped in before the break, and he was still kind of doing the highs and hellos, and he was like, oh, in South Carolina, Senator Lindsey Graham, boo. Everybody booed. Donald Trump goes, come on, guys. It's very funny. He's still speaking. Let's dip in and see what he's talking about right now.
I ended NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made, and replaced it with the USMCA, that's Mexico and Canada. The best trade deal ever made in this nation, although I must tell you, my deal with China was very good too, but I don't talk about it because of COVID. That was a step too far. But we did the USMCA, and they're trying to renegotiate. Mexico and Canada are trying to renegotiate it now because the deal turned out to be so good for us. And I wouldn't do it. We suffered with NAFTA for many years, for decades, and we didn't renegotiate it. We should have. We didn't. To further create a level playing field for our workers and small manufacturers, in our next term, I will impose across-the-board tariffs on most foreign-made goods. That's going to let your businesses compete. I'll also pass the Trump Reciprocal Trade Act. In other words, if China or any other country makes us pay a 200 or 300 or 100% tariff, we will make them pay a reciprocal tariff of the exact same amount. And we were all set to get that done, and then we got hit with COVID. I will revoke China's first and most favored nation's trade status. They have a most favored nation because they're a developing country. The way I look at our country, we're a developing country too, because our country's gone to hell. And we will impose stiff penalties on China and any other trade cheaters and abusers. And we did that at a level that nobody's ever seen. You know, I gave $28 billion to the farmers of our country. Some of you got that. That's why I said, I'm never going to lose Iowa. I'm never going to lose Nebraska. I shouldn't be so confident, right, Marjorie? But I said, how are they going to vote? I got the farmers $28 billion from China. Nobody even thought of doing that. Did anybody think they thought? You think Biden says, let's see, how can I get some money from China for the farmers? No, he wants to get it for himself. I will also resume our historic regulation cuts and get Washington bureaucrats out of your wallets, out of your lives, and out of your businesses. In just one example of Crooked Joe's extreme regulatory attacks, the Biden administration is right now trying to bludgeon the boating and maritime industry. We were just discussing it with a lot of boat companies back there that create a lot of jobs and are having a hard time. With a boat speed limit of less than 11 miles an hour, about 10 miles an hour. In other words, like a slow golf cart. It's like think of it, along the entire eastern part of our country. This is supposedly in the name of preventing whale strikes, but you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years.
But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up on shore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty. And they're washing up on shore at levels never seen before, and they want to stop your boats 1 in 50 years. Can you imagine that? The Biden speed limit will demolish the charter fishing business, crush boat manufacturers, and desecrate your cherished low country traditions. It's going to desecrate those traditions. That's why today I'm announcing that when I'm reelected, on day 1, I will cancel Biden's ridiculous speed limit regulation. Day one, first day. We will take care of the whales, but we will also take care of the workers, the boaters, the fishermen of South Carolina. We'll take good care of them, all of them, including the whale. For that reason, I will also rescind and revise Biden's absurd restrictions on recreational fishing, including red snapper and bottom fishing. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what that means, Henry? I don't know. Are you a fisherman, Henry? He knows what it means. But we'll take care of that stuff all in that first period of a day or 2. Maybe I'll need 3. Okay, we have to get it written up. Okay, but we're going to get it done like just about day 1. We will not allow Crooked Joe to destroy the South Carolina way of life. It's an incredible way of life. It's a culture, a beautiful way of life. It's no wonder that far-left lunatics are getting desperate to stop our movement by any means necessary. As you know, Crooked Joe and the radical left thugs have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading opponent. Me, I'm their leading opponent. I'm their only opponent. On fake and phony charges. I went through a whole life. I never heard the word indictment. All of a sudden, every day, I'm getting indicted. In fact, I'm getting a little concerned because we had a poll this weekend that was so big, I said, here we go, more indictments. Every time we get a good poll, we get indicted. This is high-level election interference, and it's happening for a single reason, because I'm the only candidate they do not want to run against. You know, they talk misinformation, disinformation. They're close enough. You know, somebody said, what's the difference? I said, I can tell you the difference, but they're very close. But they're very good at misinformation, disinformation. They see Trump is leading by 55 points. Think of that. And leading by 10 points against him. The Washington Post, ABC, 10 points. That's a lot, you know, because it's like considered a lot. It's hard for Republicans to lead by that much in the fake news media. The fake news media doesn't want to do that. But when they see these numbers, they get crazy. But we're leading by Ron DeSanctimonious. We're beating him by 56 points. You know, it's amazing. In yesterday's NBC News poll, I'm leading all of the Republicans in numbers like nobody's actually seen before. And we're at just about 60% already, and we're going up, and we're the only ones going up. They're going down. They're going down, down, down. They ought to stop wasting their time. You know, they're wasting a lot of time on these ridiculous debates that nobody's watching. Their last debate was the lowest rated debate in history. That's a good compliment, isn't it? And what was I doing, Marjorie? I was someplace else, wasn't I, huh? I was doing another interview. We had 271 million people listening to the Tucker Carlson interview. That's an all-time record.
So here we are, back in the thick of campaign
Welcome
season.
back from Donald Trump speaking. It's been a long time. That felt really good.
It's like, oh, yeah, I remember this. This has been going, we've missed this the last couple of years.
This is new for me.
Brad's never done this before. Brad, at the beginning of the show, I was talking about how the left is fanning the flames against Donald Trump. That's all that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, but I don't like that Donald Trump's reaction to all of this is that Donald Trump's like, yeah, I'll fan the flames of their hate for me too. He needs to talk policy. And he was like, how about 2 o'clock?
No kidding.
That was wild.
That was all policy.
Amy commented on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. If you guys are watching and chatting along with us there, Amy said, listen up. Y'all want him to talk policy? Here it is. And Amy, you are spot on with that. More of that. And we're going to use that, especially if it's happening live during our show. When he does it, we need to acknowledge it and make sure that we are part of a conversation about what Donald Trump will actually do and what he says he's actually going to do. I know that it does scratch deep below the surface for some of our listeners that he says lunatic left, that he would stoop to that kind of level.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I feel, in that moment, I'm like, but they are lunatics that are running the country right now. It doesn't speak for the whole Democratic Party.
No.
Donald Trump is going to get Democrats who vote for him.
It's weird to hear him say that because it's the kind of thing that he did not do in 2016 through 2020. And all of a sudden, he's using inflammatory language. This is shocking to me.
This is new.
But he's doing it while he's talking about what he's going to do.
He's doing it in ways that got him elected. He's so good at sound bites. If he could include those little drops with a policy position, he's a winner.
When I hear him talk about Ron DeSantis and call him Ron DeSanctus, he's abbreviated his own nickname for him. His nickname now has a nickname with Donald Trump. This is true.
Yeah, it's true.
As much as Donald Trump pushes that he's the only candidate in the race, every time he mentions Ron DeSantis' name, I think to myself, well, you're still talking about him. So he must still be in the race. I'm not advising Donald Trump. I don't think that I would be the type of person he would want to listen to, but I like Ron DeSantis. I will continue. If Ron DeSantis went on the screen here at 2:30 and said, I've decided to drop out of this race, I think we need to move on. I think Donald Trump has run a terrible campaign, and as much as I disagree with him, we need to beat Joe Biden, and Donald Trump was a big meanie to me, and he demolished my campaign, so I'm dropping out. I would still want Ron DeSantis to be my president sometime in the future, and I would still be fine supporting Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wants to get people like me who like Ron DeSantis I know this is going to come as a shock to Donald Trump, but he isn't involved in every decision I make in my head. Donald Trump does not have influence on every decision that I make in my head. And I made a decision long before Donald Trump decided to run for office again that I really wanted to see Ron DeSantis be the president of the United States. And if you went back to, I think it would be the summer of 2020. I think, Brad, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you were the producer at this time. I read his Wikipedia page on the air. I was like, y'all don't know about Ron DeSantis outside of what you might be hearing in the wake of COVID. But listen to this guy. This is a resume to be the president of the United States, talking about how he is a JAG officer, who he served in Operation Iraqi Freedom, and he was over there helping with rules of engagement so that they could pursue what they were pursuing, and he decided to put himself in that position, serving in the military, so on and so forth, and then watching his progress to go, if you would call it that, into the House of Representatives and the way he advocated for Florida and his district on a very Freedom Caucus, founding member basis. He's of the Trump fabric. And then he went and became the governor of Florida when, yes, Donald Trump said, this is your guy, and flipped the race over there so that people would pay attention because he's of the fabric of Donald Trump. He still is. One of the things I like the most about Ron DeSantis is that he is in the same persuasion on politics as Donald Trump. But there are things that clearly distinguish Ron DeSantis from Donald Trump, and I like those things about Ron DeSantis. And Donald Trump's existence in a race or outside of a race don't really impact in any way, shape, or form how I feel about Ron DeSantis. So if there are other people out there like me who are like, but I like this guy, and I'm sorry, Donald Trump, you don't get to tell me that I don't like him. That's not how it works. It's not how it's ever going to work. And that doesn't mean that I don't support Donald Trump. If you got him beat, if you're the only candidate in the race, then run against Joe Biden. If you don't have to worry about Ron DeSantis because he doesn't have the numbers, stop talking about him. Stop insulting him. Because I loved everything that Donald Trump just said there. I wish their names didn't rhyme. I love everything that Donald Trump said there. But when he says Ron DeSantis, I'm like, ugh. It's just an eye roll for me. It doesn't make me not like the things that Donald Trump was saying. But now I'm like, God, you had to go there? I feel like you're punching down. Stop.
Yeah, he needs to turn at this point because what he's done is just by mentioning Ron DeSantis. Now we're talking about Ron DeSantis. He doesn't mention him. We're probably not talking about him. we're probably talking about the fact that he's way ahead in that random poll. He mentions them. It's so Trump. He mentions this poll. Apparently, I'm up by 10 points. They say that's pretty good. Like he has no idea. He doesn't watch the polls every single day.
Yeah.
But he mentions these things, and he just moves back and forth. Like he's clearly doing traditional Trump, reading off a teleprompter, kind of riffing on it. It's what he does well.
Yeah. I just want him. I don't want him to distract people from what he's going to do when he wins the nomination and has to win the general. I want you to stay focused. And for people, we said this on the show one time. Do you think is there any possibility for a Trump DeSantis ticket? You better believe there is. And if you're on the Trump side and you're like, oh, Annie, no way, that's the dumbest thing you've like this. There is no place on the face of the planet with stranger bedfellows than politics. Because as soon as there is an advantage to be gained, you make a deal. You compromise. I would love a Trump DeSantis ticket. I would adore a Trump DeSantis ticket. And if you don't think that's possible, go back and watch the debate where Kamala Harris and Joe Biden are calling each other sexist and racist. And then follow up where Biden's like, I need a black woman. And Kamala's like, I'm a black woman. And he's like, okay, why don't you be on my ticket? And now they're the president and the vice president.
And they're best friends.
They love each other.
It's going well.
For as useful as they are to one another.
Mm-hmm.
And that's politics. So, is there going to be a Trump DeSantis ticket? I'm not predicting it. But I'm not ruling it out either. I have no idea who Donald Trump is going to pick. But I'm just telling you, you don't either. I don't know that he does.
I don't think he's picked yet. Yeah, he's
have a short list.
He probably has a short list, and I still really strongly believe that he is going to pick a woman.
Lion Ted Cruz, loves him some Trump.
Mm-hmm.
Little Marco, is that what it was?
Yep, little Marco.
Marco Rubio has said many nice things about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump has supported Marco Rubio. Pretty soon he'll be saying nice things about Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. I don't know what's going to happen next. But he always will come on and surprise you. And I think that I don't think we know what's going to happen next. But I still stand by. Every day I'm going to tell you, Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee. He's not the guy on the ballot. Let me put it that way. Maybe he might be the nominee, but he won't be the guy who you're voting for as a Democrat on November 2024. You disagree?
I still do, but I think it's becoming more likely that you're right. I still disagree. I still think that it's going to be. No, I still think it's going to be Joe Biden. But every day that goes by where you see these polls, you see the media kind of changing their tune a little bit, I'm going, uh-oh. They might be starting that push.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll have more Annie Frey Show discussion when we return. Lots of people on the Annie Frey YouTube channel right now. Come say hi to us. Say hello. And vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points as the Washington Post poll suggests? It's a poll on a poll. Wavy says, I voted no, because these polls don't factor in mail-in ballots or those who will crawl over hot coals to vote against the guy they dislike or even hate. And STL says, although I voted yes in the poll, I really meant no. Trump will beat Biden by well more than 9%. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
TheDiamondShop.net. Go there right now and sign up to be a VIP. It doesn't cost you anything. One of the things when you go to the Diamond Shop and you're looking to make a purchase that they'll do, especially if you're a VIP, you get a little extra savings in there, and that never hurts. They'll help walk you through that whole process of if you're a brand new customer, if you've never bought fine jewelry before, then they'll help you start. If you have bought lots of fine jewelry before, but you're looking for a place that is your own. You're looking for a place that's going to understand when you walk in the door, they're going to learn your name. They're going to treat you like being part of the Diamond Shop family, because they know that can become a generational relationship that they'll have with you. And then when your son or daughter goes to get engaged, or maybe is picking out rings, you say, you got to go to the Diamond Shop. They're going to treat you right. That is how the Diamond Shop has been in business for so incredibly long, because they treat people right. And that matters when you're making an investment like that. My family, we are customers of the Diamond Shop, and I would encourage you to go to thediamondshop.net and sign up to be a VIP right now. And so you can save a little extra, like right now, 30% off all in-stock diamond jewelry and engagement rings. You get an extra 10% off if you're a VIP. They have 6 months same as cash financing available for you as well if you're looking for something for the holiday season. Learn more online at thediamondshop.net.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
If you need a new bath or shower, call my friends at Bath Fitter of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. We love our new shower and tub enclosure. It looks fantastic. No demolition, no mess, and a lifetime guarantee. Right now, they're having a sale for 20% off up to $1,000 or zero interest until 2028. That's 5 years. Call 636-338-1648. That's 636-338-1648. Bath Fitter of St. Louis.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE, the medical providers at Paramount Men's Medical Center offer breakthrough treatments that eliminate problems in the bedroom without pain or surgery. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Simovitz. Paramount Men's Medical Center offers the most advanced treatments to eliminate ED and PE. 98% of men experience instant results on their first office visit. They're even lasting 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Don't just take our word for it. Call Paramount Men's Medical Center now for our limited time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. You'll see instant results right in the office. You'll even get a gift that enhances your performance in the bedroom. All this, worth hundreds of dollars, is free if you call now. 314-720-8081. 314-720-8081. That's 314-720-8081.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away at your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with TrueHold. TrueHold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. TrueHold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash. Cash to do whatever you like, while TrueHold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much TrueHold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's TrueHold.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save up to 20% on a new HVAC system when you bundle it with attic insulation. 9 out of 10 homes are under insulated. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
There are many ways to listen. Most choose radio. But have you tried streaming? Download the Odyssey app and you can stream 97.1 with one touch. Or try it touchless by telling your smart speaker to play it.
You have my heart, and we'll never be worlds apart. Maybe in magazines, but you still be my star. Baby, 'cause in the dark, you can't see shiny colors.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Wednesday night, you guys in?
I'm so in that I'm almost out. Yeah, I'm all the way.
What does
in.
that mean?
Don't ask him to say things you don't want to hear the response to.
I'm so in, I'm almost through it.
Yeah.
I'm just out the other side.
It's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah, if it was a cave, I'd be busting through the mountain because I'm so in. What?
I was talking about the debate.
Oh, no, I can't make it.
You guys want to do a watch party for my basement?
Heck yeah.
As long as that's the consensus, I am in.
I think that we're going to have food provided by Emos in Edwardsville.
Sweet.
Oh, it's been so long since I've had emos.
Some of the folks at Emos, Edwardsville and Wood River Emos specifically, gave me some gift certificates at the last debate.
Oh, cool.
And I think I'm going to use those to feed you.
That
not
sounds
you,
great.
because you won't be there.
No, I'm going to be there.
I'm going to spend all of the gift certificates that night, and you'll just have to miss.
I'm going to walk.
What? No, food? I'll make time.
I'm walking in at 8 o'clock. I'm just going to throw my coat on the ground.
You can't eat while we're on the air, and the debate starts at 8.
I will eat off camera only. So I'll be a correspondent from the other room.
You are not coming to my house to do a debate watch party so that you can eat off camera during the debate.
But that sounds like a decent plan, though.
That sounds like the most Ryan Wiggins thing in the history of Ryan Wiggins things.
Yeah, that is 100% the most Ryan Wiggins thing. I'll be there, but I'm there for the food, and so that other people know that I'm there. So that box is checked, but I get the food, and I don't have to go on camera, right? I can just stay over here and eat the food.
That is really close to what I'm pitching. But I want you to know that once I'm done eating, which would take only like a half hour, 45 minutes, once I'm done, I'm yours for the rest of the night.
I wouldn't put it that way.
then go ahead and put it however you'd like.
No, I can't. But it's so generous of you.
I agree. No, that food sounds terrific, and I think that I should partake in it just to make sure that everybody knows that I agree with the idea of having the food there for the debate watch party. So,
you agree with having the food there, but you haven't agreed with you being there.
I will be there.
For the debate watch party.
I will watch that debate also while I eat. I will do my best to get there a little bit early so that I can... Here's another thing I'm really good at. Eating a lot fast.
Man, way to tease the people.
It's because it starts at 8.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be airing it here. We'll be airing it there. Lots of ways to consume.
We'll be airing it everywhere. What did Trump say in his speech? I go, that sounded like Dr. Seuss. He's like, I think they thought that we think they thought.
Yes, it was very close to that.
Brad, when you were a listener of the show, and for people who are maybe joining us and don't know the history behind how Brad Range became the executive producer of the show, well, he listened to it, and I needed an executive producer, so I asked him to do the job.
It's not a long story.
That sums it up.
More or less. I mean, there's some steps in between it, but yeah, more or less.
Not many.
No.
No, that's pretty much what it was. I mean, you had to come in for an interview and so forth. But
I did have some responsibilities outside of just being a listener. It was
unpaid.
It was volunteer.
No, I paid you in...
edible arrangements.
Gratitude.
Oh, I didn't know this.
I got an edible arrangement for Christmas one time.
Oh, my gosh.
He became I asked him if Brad was a regular on the Andy Frey YouTube channel, and he would comment and weigh in, much the way he does here, just with his voice instead of his keyboard. Scooter's like, ooh, maybe if there's another job opening, maybe I could get in there.
Actually, probably every single person on the chat's thinking that.
Well, now, yeah, I understand why. But you were a listener. Would you you would be there for the watch parties?
Oh, for sure.
So what we'll do is at my house in my basement, we'll watch the debate. We can't broadcast the debate on the YouTube channel because it's Fox Businesses, which is why 97.1 FM Talk is a Fox station. We'll be broadcasting the debate. So you can listen, if you're on the go, you can listen to that debate right here on 97.1 FM Talk. Another great reason to download the Odyssey app so you can stream that live. But we're going to watch it. And so we're going to be watching it in my basement and reacting to it live with you. So you pop it up on your TV screen wherever you are watching it, and we'll just watch it together. And we'll have a chat. We'll feature your comments and everything. You were always there. Was that an enjoyable way, especially like a therapeutic way to go through watching something like that?
You know,
what if he said no?
Then I'd be like,
then why were you there?
What if we had Ryan on camera eating? Would that have made it better?
No, I would have probably been trashing Ryan in the chat if he was on camera eating. Like, dude, chew with your mouth closed. I can hear you breathing.
Just because I eat on camera doesn't mean it's falling out of my mouth while I eat.
No, that's not why it happens, but that is what happens.
Go on. You were answering a different question.
I think what we were trying to do is entice people to watch.
Yes.
On Wednesday night.
Yeah.
I don't know that was it.
I enjoyed the commentary. I enjoyed the reaction, and that's kind of the fun thing about it. Sometimes, if you aren't just a political person, like if debates get a little tedious for you or whatever, it was fun to watch, this because it was that whole Mystery Science Theater 3000 kind of aspect where you're watching something that's mildly entertaining by itself, but then when you add the commentary of the people that were in that show watching it and making jokes, it made it way better. It's the same idea, but it also feels like you're watching it with people who are of a like mind, and it becomes more of almost like in a way, a sporting event.
A cult?
No, not a cult. Like a sporting event. Well,
Yeah.
maybe like a cult. I don't know.
No.
Sometimes people who watch sports are very cultish about
We
their
don't
teams.
want to just be your broadcast partner that you listen to.
We want to be your friend.
We don't want to be your friend. We want to be your cult.
Oh. We want to be your leader.
Yeah, you can call me Koresh.
Oh.
From now on.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think we want to be their friends.
Okay. You know what?
Hey.
That sounds fine too.
That's cool too.
We're going to be having some Kool-Aid. You're invited to wear your Nikes.
Oh, you need to stop. You need to stop.
I'm wearing Adidas right now. Are conservatives allowed to wear Adidas? Don't we hate Adidas was involved in the whole
I think we hate everything.
I do. I gotta take off everything I'm wearing.
I don't know. Yeah.
I think my shoes are Izod. Do we have a problem with that?
Alligators. Did you see the story about
Lacoste.
the alligator? 13-foot long alligator in Florida was walking
Yes.
around with a body inside hanging out.
Out of its mouth?
Yeah.
This is a really sad story. They found they took care of it and figured out who this woman was, and it was a homeless person who lived in Florida. It's a really horrifying thing about Floridian existence that keeps me in Illinois.
I guess I won't wear these shoes anymore. You're right.
That's what it makes me think of. Is my microphone cutting out?
Yeah, I think it did because I thought the same thing. I thought that was my headphones, but it wasn't. It was your mic.
Well, these are my new headphones. I don't want it to be my headphones. I'm
No.
actually happy it's the entire station, not my headphones.
Yeah, it just happened again.
Yeah.
If you're in your car, you're experiencing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. No, it's you. It's static.
Yes.
I'm just getting bad reception.
We're doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's on your end.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get to the final results of the YouTube live chat. Poll on a poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Yes or no? And a reminder, Wednesday, we're broadcasting live in Collinsville, Illinois at the Ruler Foods, Ryan's hometown.
I basically live there.
Yeah.
Pause a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm. And we'd love for you to come out and say hi and drop off some diapers to benefit the St. Louis Diaper Bank. And it's all put together by Princess Storm of Hot 104.1, our sister station. And we are here to support her in the biggest possible way we can with the diaper drive. So come see us Wednesday. We'll be back with the poll results when we come back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The Retirement Advisory Group with Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, and Tammy Kershaw are having their final Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. I'm going to be there, and I hope to see you there as well. It's Tuesday, October 3rd. The event starts at 6:30 at the Frontenac Hilton, but I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock, and I'm going to meet each and every one of you that come. I would so love to put some faces and names together of people in the Annie Frey Show community, and that includes you. But you want to go to this event because, first of all, it's free. Second of all, there's snacks. Actually, maybe first there's snacks, and second of all, it's free. And you get to sit and listen to how he can help you change over from working into retirement with ease, with the exhale, worry-free. That's a really big deal for a lot of people right now that are watching the economy, scratching their heads and going, I don't know if I can afford to retire right now. Contact the Retirement Advisory Group and sign up for this free seminar. It does not last all night. It's like 45 minutes of your time. It starts at 6:30. I'll be there at 6 o'clock to say hi to you, along with Mark Cox and Mark Reardon, and we'll have a great evening together. 314-993-9494 to reserve your spot. 314-993-9494. You can find them online at retirementkey.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Need a break from the sound bites and the talking heads? Do you want information you can actually use? Information that'll change your life for the better? Then listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer Sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair is gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com. For garage door repair, St. Louis calls the real overhead door company of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. They're the ones with the red ribbon. They're the ones that have been here since 1926. Others may try to copy it. They can't match the level of service. The red ribbon means 97 years of trust and loyalty from St. Louis homeowners. Always look for the red ribbon. It means you've got the genuine, the original overhead door company of St. Louis. 314-781-5200. overheaddoorstlewis.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. September is World Ozone Month, so it's a perfect month to use your vehicle less. Your car emits a lot of chemicals that can be damaging to the ozone layer. Try leaving the car at home and walk or bike to close destinations. For longer trips, try taking public transportation or scheduling a carpool with friends or coworkers. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll on a poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Yes or no? We're about to give you the results of that poll, and we'll discuss it in general in just a minute. 2:43. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Here's our random fact. Canned food was invented in 1810, but the can opener wasn't invented until 1858. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? That's not very kitchen efficient.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at The Annie Frey Show.
So did we make a decision? It's Wednesday. Wednesday happening. I need to tell other people.
Brad, I think Wednesday's happening, isn't it? Wednesday night?
I will be there.
I will too.
Wednesday during the day we need to delineate here. Wednesday during the day, we will be at Ruler Foods in Collinsville collecting diapers.
Noon to 3, but honestly before noon. We'll be there.
We'll be
there.
We'll be there probably.
Setting up, and it's there will be things that we have to do technically to set up for the broadcast. And when we're on the air, we have to be on the air, but we can talk to people at breaks. We can probably, me specifically, can talk to people beforehand and take pictures and stuff with the diapers you bring in. Ruler Foods in Collinsville, noon to 3.
Yeah.
GOP debate numero dos is Wednesday evening.
Yes.
At my house for the three of us.
So
Not for everybody.
If you're listening and you plan on showing up at Ruler Foods at 11 o'clock and standing there for 4 hours watching us and you haven't had enough, listen to us in the evening also, and you will have a great time. I'll be eating.
On the Annie Frey YouTube page.
On the Annie Frey YouTube page, yes. Or wherever you get your Annie Frey show.
It'll be on the YouTube page. I think that's the only place we're putting it. Maybe we might stream on the 97.1 page as well, YouTube page. But I'm really invested in the one that has my name on it. You should subscribe to both. I think Mark Reardon, doesn't he stream his show on the 97.1 or the Mark Reardon Show YouTube page? He has both.
He has both.
Yeah. So subscribe. Just subscribe everywhere.
Yeah.
Just go around subscribing like it doesn't even matter to you.
It probably doesn't. You ever hear people talk about like, oh, subscribe to our podcast, and they start listing podcast platforms? There are an infinite number of podcast platforms.
Yeah.
So if you want to listen to the Annie Frey Show podcast, you just listen wherever you get your podcast from. If you want to watch the debate watch party, however, you need to go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel. I wonder if we could maybe, if it could potentially be orchestrated that we get 36 YouTube subscribers to the channel by Wednesday night, because that would be 6,000.
Oh, me, oh, my. That would be quite a celebration we could have on Wednesday night.
What should we do?
Probably have emos, and their salad's really good. I
We
would
should
eat
have
that.
guest
Are you
appearances.
placing your order right now?
Yeah.
By Ron DeSantis and.
Oh, yeah, let's have Trump and DeSantis on Wednesday night.
Well,
We
I
got
don't think
Trump
we
on.
can get Trump.
Trump, we could. Heck yeah, we could. He's not doing anything else.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
First debate, Tucker and Trump. Second debate, Annie Frey and Trump.
Well, he's going to speak to the United Auto Workers, but after that,
I could think of stupider things he could do with that time than talk to a suburban woman who kind of likes Ron DeSantis. Win me over.
Yep, I could think of stupider things he could do too.
You're not even coming
I'm going to be there.
on Wiggins time.
I'm going to be there. Here's what we're going to
Are you
do.
going to leave halfway through?
No, I'm going to arrive halfway through.
Just balance it out.
Here's what we're going to do. None of the candidates on the stage.
One full debate.
None of the candidates on that stage are going to win anyway. So just watch me eat from 8 to 9.
Oh my gosh, no! People are unsubscribing right now, just to make sure that they don't accidentally see it.
I'll bring you a coffee. I mean, we can just make this thing official.
Do you want to talk about it?
I kind of do.
Okay, say what you want to say, dude.
Before the show,
I had a bad morning.
Annie had a bad morning. She was having a bad time, and when she walked in the room, we were all like, "Uh-oh, don't talk to Annie. She's having
Stop
a bad
it.
time."
No, that's so not happened. We had a 10:15 meeting, a programming meeting that I was supposed to be at, and it was on my calendar, which is what I am a slave to. I just do what my calendar says, but I screwed up, and I didn't look at it, which is really just the truth of it. I told my boss, I was like, I have no good excuses. I just forgot, and I am really sorry, publicly sorry now. So my 15-minute, oh, you got 15 minutes till your meeting starts. I got it home in Illinois, and I had to get here as fast as I could, and which meant I had to skip my Scooter's coffee.
Mm-hmm. Which is a travesty.
I'd be asleep right now if I didn't have coffee.
Yeah,
and I'm still on the air.
We've seen you without coffee at about 1:45.
What about
hit
it?
the wall. You hit the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You've said this
that's when
publicly
I have
before.
you. Have you noticed that's when I have you come in the
That's
show?
right, yeah. Hey, everybody, wake up! It's Wiggins now. So
somehow our ratings survived that shift and are doing pretty well.
So then after the meeting, which I was also in, we got out at the same time. We come out.
We did not go in at the same time.
No, we did not go in the meeting at the same time. We came out at the same time. And Annie had to do some prep for the show. I had already done most of mine. And so Annie says to me, go get me some coffee.
God dang it. Tell the whole story.
And I said, really? And I had to, in that moment, there's a moment there that happens that you have to realize where you are in the totem pole. Annie was doing.
We don't talk about totem poles anymore.
Annie was doing what we call a power play. She knows that she is talent, but I am. Here's the weird thing: like I am also talent, but I don't. And I have my name on a show, but she has her name on a daily show. So I had to, in that moment, assess my position at the station, and I realized that Annie was right. She is above me, and so when she told me to go get coffee, I had to do it. And that's just what you do. I mean, you put your head down.
Truth over facts.
You bare knuckle it, and you just go get the job done because you know
you have to wrap in 6 minutes.
That's what you do. So I went to get her coffee. I brought it back. I gave it to her without looking her in the eye, and I left the studio.
That's true.
You know what's funny about this?
The
is
one part.
After he did all of that and he brought the coffee in here, I was like, Ryan, did you bring me any coffee? And he looked at me square in the eye, and he said, I don't care about your coffee.
I think I said you don't matter.
Oh, it was something to that effect.
Because that's just the order of things. And I'm not advocating for this. There are times that Annie is like, I love the caste system and things like that. And I'm like, it doesn't even make any sense. It's not in context of the political discussion we're having. But she'll just say it because I think it's a subtle reminder as to where we all are as far as our levels here at 97.1. So I'm just wrapping it up by saying that, yes, we should do that broadcast Wednesday night. It'll be a blast. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to hanging out with my friends.
And I'm going to bring you coffee. Please don't hit me.
See you guys at 9.
Can you remind me what I pay you people for? Honestly, throw me a bone here.
I've been waiting to give that soliloquy all day.
I could tell because you brought it up.
Yeah, at 11:30, I'm like, I know what I'm going to talk about today, and then you never brought it up.
Get it all out of your system.
That's it. That was the whole thing.
No, actually, it wasn't. But
I thought it was
say
great.
more.
Go ahead and when you podcast everything today, Ethan.
Don't tell Ethan what to do.
Podcast.
You don't tell Ethan what to do.
He's below us in the system. We were just talking
Don't
about.
say us. There's no us here.
Did he mention in that story that you offered to buy him lunch?
No, I didn't even offer to buy. It wasn't even that. I handed him my debit card.
Here's another way in which Annie robbed me today.
What is the first thing that I said to you? Have you eaten lunch yet? And you said no.
I said no.
I said, are you going to get lunch? And you said,
yes, I am.
I said,
or I said maybe I can.
I took my debit card out of my wallet, and I said, I would like to buy you lunch if you'll go get me coffee. Here's my debit card.
I don't remember the buy you lunch part. I appreciate that now in hindsight. I really do, but I didn't. Here's what.
The whole predication of the conversation was, have you eaten lunch yet? Are you going to get lunch?
I just figured
because Ryan Wiggins has a
out.
way of leaving the building right before the show starts, Brad.
Absolutely just disappear. She's like, is Ryan? I'm like, I don't know. It's that there's like
There's
block.
like 15 minutes where I always go
like
get lunch.
45.
But he's in such high demand from 10:30 or whenever he gets here until 11:45.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, we go on at noon, as you know, so I got to go get lunch somewhere.
He's literally keeping stores afloat around here, Papa John's and KFC.
It's true. Those are in the building, and they are.
Where do
very
you get
convenient.
sushi at?
Oh,
The
Sushi
gas
Eye right
station.
down the street. No, the other way. Just to conclude this, to put a finer point on it.
Let's please hone in a little bit more on
this, Ryan.
your version.
The problem is that Annie saw fit to rob me in a different way, and that is. That is with my generosity, because I was genuinely, and I kid you not, I was going to go buy that coffee for you, even though you gave me your debit card. I was going to buy that coffee because you've bought me several in the last couple weeks.
Oh, it's interesting that you include that in this story.
Yeah.
I think you didn't. I think you should regret that.
And because of that, I was like, I'm going to get this coffee. I don't care what it is or what it costs. I thought you were going to text me the order, and I was just going to go pick it up. You were so forward thinking that you ordered it from that Starbucks and paid on the app ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even get the chance to buy you a coffee. And for that, I'm angry.
Because I felt really bad about putting you out.
as you should. But now I got to go buy you something else. You know, I got to go shopping. I got to go to Kohl's and like shop for
You
Annie
feel
now.
obligated to spend money on me?
I got to, before the debate, I got to show up at Kohl's like 7.
I don't even care. You know, no. I just want you to show up for the debate.
I will.
On time.
But my mouth is going to be full of a sub or something. And then you won't let me eat your food when I get there, apparently. So
Coffee was delicious.
you're welcome.
I'm very grateful.
I hear it. I hear it now.
Are we even?
No.
That's right. You still owe me coffee.
Yeah, I was going to say, in reality, we're not even close to even because you bought me like 4 in a row to my 0. So that was my chance to catch up. I didn't even get to do it.
I did not intend for you. I intended to buy you lunch. I wanted to do something nice for you since you were doing something nice for me.
I went to Jack in the Box and I ate some sandwich that was called like a sluggo.
Oh, gross.
It was a chicken strip.
My bank
in a
was
hot
probably
dog
like,
bun.
this is fraud. You don't eat this crap. He tried and it denied it.
The only thing your debit card would let him buy is an acai bowl.
Yeah. Didn't you mean Smoothie King? Extra granola, sub honey instead of peanut butter. The YouTube live chat poll, do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Yes or no, Ryan? Quickly.
No.
No?
No.
More
I
or
do not.
less?
Less.
Brad?
Less.
I say no as well. I don't think that is an accurate depiction. We go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel where you can vote every day in the YouTube live chat poll. It's a poll on a poll. Do you believe Trump will beat Biden by 9 points, as the Washington Post poll suggests? Yes or no? 49% say no, 51% say yes.
Wow, no kidding.
That's
really
close.
I want to live in that world where 51% of you say yes.
Man, hey, I'm all for it. If you guys are right, thumbs up.
I'm not saying I'm voting no in this poll, not because I don't think that's going to be the margin, but because I don't think it's going to be Biden, and I will continue believing that until I'm proven wrong. Man, I would love to be proven wrong. Stick around, the Mark Reardon Show, right here on 97.1 when we return.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Nobody brings you more value in fine jewelry than Diamonds Direct, and they're proving it again by rolling back interest rates to 0%. But you need to hurry. Now through Sunday only, you can make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. A $6,000 ring is just $100 a month. But hurry, this radical offer ends Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't miss this once-a-year blockbuster deal. Hurry, 5 years, zero interest financing. Get details and more at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. On approved credit.
Start your Amazon business.
Hi, Ian Bauer. My first year averaged $45,000 a month in sales. Now I'm at $90,000 a month and hardly working.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at